It's Monday, November 21st, 2022, here in the studio in St. Louis, Missouri. That's right, a full 4-seat episode. We got fan voicemails to feature. We got a mix of news out there in the movie world, and we are highlighting a whole bunch of titles in What You Watching, and not to mention the meat. Today is a sequel we've been waiting on. Super complicated film that we're going to get into the story, talk about what made us feel good, what made us feel bad, everything in between. We're talking about Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and this is Mostly Superheroes. Welcome back to Mostly Superheroes, a weekly, monthly, bi-weekly something pursuit for the world's best stories. I'm your host, Logan, back here again in the studio. We're playing some music, and we accidentally played the wrong music, so I'm going to play the one that I wanted to play for you guys. It's this one. That's the one! Even though I kind of like the cold open shred.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, that was filthy.
Like, start them off with a melted face.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to melt your face. We're going to jam out. We're going to talk about some movies. So good to be back here in the studio doing it again. It's been about a month. And boy, oh boy, we did so good. We got somebody in the fourth chair today that actually flew in. You know, for other stuff, but still, he flew in. We can't wait to get to him. Let's start off with this guy, though. Mr. Giggler.
Hi there.
How you doing, Andy?
I am great. Thanks for having me again.
I like your hat.
Oh yeah, this has been on my head more often than not.
Yeah,
lately.
These are the prototype hats. They're too small. We think they were made for young children. And somehow, I mean, Andy's got a noggin on him.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So are you all the way at the edge?
It's hanging on for dear life.
It almost looks like a yarmulke.
It's been stretched out, but it works.
I love it. I hope that you rock it forever. Mine's up on the shelf. It just doesn't. We have to get a different hat for the fans.
Okay, I can help. I can help pick them out. I'm a hat expert with my bald ass head. So
yeah, and since we've talked last, you've gotten a new car.
Yes.
And you also got your, you had a couple friends help you repair your washer recently. You've got some life happening.
Sometimes things don't go your way, but luckily I have some good friends that are there to help out. If they want to help pay for my car too, that'd be cool. But if not, I'll just keep paying those car payments every month now, which is not fun. But
this is a real taste. This is for, if you have listeners around the world, anybody that stumbles across Mostly Superheroes and these guys, man, they must be getting paid good money. This is pretty good show. Guys, no. But Andy's hiring his friends, 2 beers a piece to fix his washer. So that's real life.
I haven't even had to pay yet, so I'm just waiting for them to be like, yo, where are those beers at? But it's a whole dinner and beers. It's probably accruing 1 beer per week interest.
Well, as you get old, we're in our mid-30s now. The pizza and beer for helping with a move isn't really cutting it. I mean, you're gonna. I need $100. I don't know, a real payment.
Better grill some steaks. Give me some potatoes.
Yeah, I want a 3-course meal.
Yeah. Done.
And some whiskey.
I'm in.
That's Scotty Scoop.
Scoop. I'm excited for this show.
You're excited to talk about this movie?
All kinds of stuff.
And news.
Yeah, we got news. We got watchins. It's everything.
I think we have the thickest scoop today.
Hey, easy. I've been working out.
You look great. You got the Mostly Superheroes swag on.
Yep.
I see you matching the hat, flannel. How you been? How's Shanna? How are the kids?
Everything's great.
I guess they're watching. We're live.
Probably
live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We're doing these episodes live all the time. Join us in the chat. And hey, Scotty's kids.
Hey.
Yep. We're kid friendly.
We were saying, I guess we're kind of kid friendly.
Usually.
At least
we try.
Here's the thing. We're as kid friendly as whatever Scott wants his kids to hear him say, which I'll be honest, I know Scott as a parent. Scott's one of the coolest parents out in town.
I do what I can.
I'm telling you,
believe it.
he talks.
believe it.
Yeah, he's one of these parents that talks to his kids. His kids are weird, like Scott. So
Yes.
I think that your kids would take that in the best way, the best kind of weird.
Little carbon copies of me.
That's right.
Oh,
Ugh, I don't know if we need that. But
Yeah, well.
How proud were you when you found out that they were also into like nerd stuff?
Well,
'Cause
I
for
made
me,
sure,
that's like
I made sure I indoctrinated them at a
Yeah.
very young age.
Yeah.
You know how a lot of dads are like, you're going to work at the factory? He was like, you're going to read comic books.
Yes.
And you're going to
Oh,
know
it-
about anime.
if I have a son, he starts picking up a hockey stick. I'm like, well, put this in your left hand. It'd be a
Whoa.
lightsaber.
Yeah, there you
Like,
go.
you might need this too.
All right, you might hear another voice coming in at you, listener. You've heard this guy before. I refer to him a lot as our Star Wars resident guy, but the truth is he's a friend of the Giggler. He's a friend of the show. Here from Texas, back in Missouri, Danny Patron.
Happy to be back.
Dude, good to see you.
Absolutely. You know, this timed up perfectly. I mean, I've also got in town for 2 weeks, so I was like, we got plenty of time. Come on, let's make this happen.
Sure.
You know, was able to see the movie beforehand, no problem, and happy to be back. We got some Star Wars to talk about.
Yeah, a couple
Just a
things,
little bit.
actually.
Some good Star Wars to talk about, thankfully. You know, this is always something I look forward to, and happy to be with you all and ready to watch some football and eat a lot of turkey on Thursday.
Yeah, we are here
Yes.
on Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
We're here recording Monday, so by the time you're listening to this, unless you're live, you know, if you're listening to our episode, happy Thanksgiving. I hope it went well. And how's your trip back to St. Louis been so far?
It's been good. I saw a concert at the Pageant on Tuesday.
One of the best venues in town.
Yep, saw Guster, and then Bare Naked Ladies showed up for an encore. They did a little switcheroo because they were playing back-to-back at the venues. Going back to the Pageant on Friday to see a Beastie Boys cover band. So, you know, music, podcasts, football, and Thanksgiving. It's been a good trip back for sure.
It's
Jam-packed.
good to be
Yeah.
Danny. Having fun. Well, dude,
Yep.
good to have you. So good to have you here while you're in town. We'll bring you in via Zoom. I know we're all shopping for really good mics right now. We're looking for the good remote mics because we're going to be bringing in folks like Danny remote in all the time. And with that, man, we got a whole slew of things to get into today. We got a packed episode, lots to go through, and I had to highlight first, of course, what you eating. Elephant in the room, guys. We had Chick-fil-A.
We went corporate.
We went corporate. We ordered it on DoorDash, too. This was like as corporate America as you get. And I told you guys I was going to bring this up, and it is like an elephant in the room because you guys remember Chick-fil-A, and, you know, they seem to have some stance on some things regarding the LGBTQ community. And this was, again, I was bringing it up at dinner time years ago. I haven't heard anything in, like, I feel like 5+ years about, like, again, I think it was more publicity. I don't know if there was ever a trial or anything. And I said, but the truth is, I'm going to be honest. I eat Chick-fil-A now and then just because it's like hands down one of the best chicken sandwiches consistently over and over and over. Scotty, you said you haven't, what'd you say? You haven't paid for it?
Yeah, I haven't paid for it since 2007. And I remember I was in Memphis the last time I physically bought Chick-fil-A.
And did you stop because of all of
I did.
the news and
I
everything
did.
that was going on? It was
Indeed.
like, this is not an inclusive place. I'm going to stop eating here.
Yes,
So what?
100%.
So what? I'm not asking for anybody's opinion here, even though like this is a podcast. So if you have one, let it out. But what I wanted to level with was, you know, at least if anything, we've now brought awareness to the fact that what happened to the Chick-fil-A stuff? Are people still mad at Chick-fil-A? Are they like okay with everybody now? Or are they still sticking to their tune? I truly don't know.
I think they've softened
Is
a
it?
bit
It's like different now.
on the delicious chicken. You
Yeah,
know,
but-
that's
I-
I have softened, and up until I think maybe last year or the year before, I hadn't even eaten it
yeah.
in 13, 14 years.
Yeah. Right.
And then someone bought it and said, hey, do you want some chicken? And I was like, you know what? It's already
It's-
paid for,
It's already paid for.
you know?
I mean,
And
again, I'm not trying to justify anything. Andy had a good point too. He's like, as a consumer, how in the world are you supposed to know like about everything we buy? It's a capitalist country. Every single thing has a brand. Like, do you know the ownership behind every single brand? But the truth is, I did say like that's kind of a cop out because I did know about this.
Yeah.
But I still go back for the good chicken. I guess I'm trying to figure out if I'm supposed to feel guilty about it or not, and I'm still trying to figure it out.
It's a tough one too because like Chick-fil-A isn't a publicly owned company, so it's privately owned. So that's where like the guy who did all that stuff was the private owner of the company. And you have to keep in mind, there's also a ton of people that work there that are just everyday people. And so it's not like some of these, publicly traded companies where something like that goes down and then there's this level of accountability because from an investor standpoint and optics, you can see a change like you saw with the Kanye stuff happened recently. You saw how these brands that are publicly traded, react differently. So it's kind of like, what do you do when it's this one person doing it in an entity of a large corporation with a lot of people? I'm sure there's a lot of amazing people that work Chick-fil-A. Just sucks that there's kind of an asshole at the top. And I'm sure one day that'll change one way or another. None of us have found the fountain of youth. So.
Well, I'll say this. I'll make a stand on this show right now. Personally, pro everybody.
Oh, for sure.
Like it's just like every single person, every background. Come on in. If I had chicken sandwiches, I'd be selling them to you. I guess I always just picture like the owner of a Chick-fil-A going like, "Get out!" Like get out. And I'm like, is that what's going on, or is it more of like
they'll take your money no matter what.
Yeah.
If you're trying to spend it.
Well, I'm glad that we've brought.
To pass up.
If anything, I'm glad that we've brought the conversation back up. Because when's the last time you talked about the Chick-fil-A stuff with anybody?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
And I didn't. You know what else I thought about for a hot second was like, we won't tell anybody we had it. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna be a liar. Like I'm not gonna be like hiding it. Like no, I had Chick-fil-A. The pickles are delicious. The sauce is really good. But hey, owner, figured it out.
Yeah, and I think with what's happened in Colorado Springs, Colorado this week, I don't speak for the rest of you, but I know like certainly my thoughts and feelings and emotions go out to the community because there was a true tragedy of somebody just being a complete jerk and a hateful person and taking the lives of other people, which for me is like always the line. It's nobody has the right to take the life of somebody else. I don't care what you believe. I just think that's a hard no. And when you're so hateful that that's what you think you have to do, like, we've talked about this before, but it's like we got to do something about mental health in this country because there's too much of this bullshit, and there's a lot of people that need help out there from one way or another, and there's a lot of other nuances that go along with that. This is supposed to be a fun podcast.
No, it's real world. We're here in the real world talking.
It's not just mental health. There's all kinds of other stuff that definitely has to be addressed.
And for the headlines for like the people listening around the world, basically, there was a gay bar in Denver.
Mass shooting. 5 people killed. I think 25 injured at a LGBTQ plus bar in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Colorado Springs, yeah.
Which is about like 2 hours south of Denver.
And I heard that the people that were around actually like fought the guy down and tackled him down and were able to like get control and like
beat him with his own gun.
Yeah.
Another one, and I mean another one. And like one of those things where it's not becoming something that we're not numb to. I think it's getting just kind of scary how often you're hearing about a building being shot up by one of us, essentially just another member of society that got their hands on a gun and did some damage.
Yeah, I mean, saying goes, the only way to stop a bad guy is with a good guy. So, thankfully there was some really great people there that stepped in and had the courage and put their life on the line and frankly saved other lives. I'm sure. Yeah, sending
positive vibes to anybody affected by that.
Yeah, and, absolutely.
Man, good luck to the people investigating it and trying to figure out like what is going on.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's turn it up a little bit in the room with some fan mail.
Fan mail.
We always open up the show with fan mail because it is mostly superheroes. We have a phone number. We want you to call it. We want you to text it. We want you to save it in your phone as mostly superheroes. It's 754-CALL-LOG. 754-225-5564. If you're out there driving, you're like me, you're driving when you listen to your podcast, pull over safely and then put it in your phone. Don't be looking at it while you're driving around. Come on, just be smart about it. Also, we want you to join the free, exclusive, private, mostly superheroes squad on Facebook. Essentially, we should just rename it to Scotty Scoop Town. Because it's where
Scoopville, population me.
Welcome to Scoopville. And we have a lot of scoops to highlight later on. And we have a very exciting announcement that we teased out in the last episode. A new line of holiday merch is now available at Bonfire. You can also go check it out at mostlysuperheroes.com/merch. 2 new holiday designs just in time for the holidays. We have the sweater and the tree.
baby.
I mean, look, there's a lot of Christmas parties coming up. Okay, everybody's going to go to Target and buy the same 3 holiday sweatshirts that are, Buddy the Elf and some little saying, and then probably a Christmas Vacation one. Stand out.
Stand out.
Get them mostly superheroes.
Yeah, we got the tree.
Definitely not an ugly sweater, first off, but most of them aren't really ugly sweaters. So you're going to have to put a Christmas sweater on, and it's going to be a conversation starter. And then you're going to get more listeners to the podcast.
That's right.
Which is great.
And you can tell them, not only do I support this podcast, but these guys are out here trying to do some good. We're doing our charities. We're putting on events. You can know that your money is being well spent, sometimes at our friend Well Spent Brewing Company. Yeah. We've actually just emailed with, they have a event coordinator over there, so we might have some events coming up in the future. And to help us do that, you could totally go buy one of these great new designs. We do have a Black Friday deal going through the end of the month. Use promo code mostly on Bonfire. That's all of our products. That's not just the exclusive designs. These are exclusive limited designs created by Carrie Clark Design. If you guys don't know, of course, our creative president, and we're so excited to announce this. You can get this for, we'll bring these back every holiday season, but get yours now. We'll probably try to bring in some new designs in the future. I've already got mine. Carrie's already got hers. Just to describe it to you, the listeners, on the tree, we have a nice Christmas tree, kind of spells out mostly superheroes. It says have a Holly Jolly podcast on it. And then mostly superheroes, the sweater. It's your classic Christmas sweater. And if you look really closely at these designs, there's some fun little winks.
Oh, I like
Fans,
that.
you guys see some little Easter eggs? What can you spot?
Christmas
What can you see?
I see a Star Wars
Yes,
reference. I see
lightsabers.
Captain America. I see Batman.
Yeah, the deer literally has a cape and the Captain America shield. There's a Batman mask. There's a bell. All sorts of good stuff. Go over and check it out. mostlysuperheroes.com/merch. Can't wait for you guys to get your hands on these. And we're doing something fun. Another giveaway for you, listener. That's right. You could win a prize. We recently shared that we saw a concert. You might notice my T-shirt, The Midnight, my band of the year for sure. And we just bought this record. It's called Heroes. It's their latest album. Scotty and I actually just saw The Midnight play at the pageant as well here in St. Louis a couple months ago. And, of course, whenever we get a new record that we really enjoy, we want to share it with you. So we're going to give one of these away, Heroes by The Midnight. There's a QR code on your screen right now if you're watching us on your TV. It takes you to mostlysuperheroes.com/contests. You can enter 100% free. How about that?
I'll be entering.
Yeah, come on, Andy.
Andy's going to be entering. Free, Andy. Just get a little excited for once. God.
Free?
I need to give you guys the applause button.
I love free.
You know what's funny? So
Good,
when we
good.
went to the pageant the other night, there was this band opening. I think they were called. Wasn't Mouse Rat? That's the Parks and
Modest
Rec
Mouse?
one. No, man, I wish I could remember their name. But anyway,
Mousetrap.
afterwards, it was something like that.
Rat race.
But
Rat-a-tat.
they were selling cassettes, and my buddy bought their cassette.
Yes.
We had a couple drinks, and we were talking with the band, and so he buys the cassette, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, and I asked him, I go, where are you going to play that? And the reality is, like in today's day and age, I bet more people could play a record than an old tape cassette.
Oh, tape
Absolutely.
cassette. Yeah, well,
Like-
just like not having anywhere to put it.
Yeah,
Right.
they must have a very niche, audience because
I'm
I
telling
wouldn't
you,
even know what to do.
They're coming back though. The
Yeah.
vinyls are back.
The vinyls are cool.
Cassettes too, though. I'm
Are
seeing
they?
everybody's
Yeah.
selling cassettes
Yeah,
nowadays.
I have seen some cassettes around,
All
and
right.
I think we're only a year away from Walkman
Walkman's just
making
Yeah.
a total comeback.
Yeah, we're gonna
Maybe.
and they're gonna get
Dude.
Macaulay Culkin to like
Yeah.
do the commercial. Like they already got
The
his mom.
Talk Boy.
They already
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then a tease, go ahead and enter to win that contest. We have the Midnight record up for grabs, Heroes. We have made a friend, a pod pal, if you will, a podcast buddy, local to St. Louis called After the Midnight. Yeah, that's right.
Local to St.
Local
Louis.
to St. Louis. These guys are, I actually need to make sure I get their names right because we've been messaging on Twitter. We did some outreach right away. Whenever the Midnight came in town, these guys actually got the Midnight on their pod
Oh,
to
that's
sit
awesome.
down and talk with them. These guys, I'm telling you, make sure I get it right. I believe it's Eric and Zach, I believe. Zach and Ryan. Sorry, Zach and Ryan. After the Midnight, and we've already decided we're going to do some kind of collaboration. Either they're going to zoom into our studio, we're going to meet up locally and do something. And obviously, they have amazing taste in music because their entire podcast
For sure.
is dedicated to the band.
Wow.
Wow.
How cool is that?
Wild.
That's pretty cool.
If you want to, and if you are wanting to check out this podcast, this is the perfect time to do it. They just had a sit down with the Midnight. It's
Yeah.
on YouTube. You can listen where you get your podcast after the Midnight. Go check them out and watch for a future collaboration.
That's like our future episode when James Gunn is going to come in.
Oh, for sure.
It's like
Yeah.
that's like the equivalent, right?
yeah, you're talking about what keeps me up at night. You
Yeah.
know, like just figuring out. Like I've already
Can't
met,
wait.
like St. Louis guy James Gunn. I've actually met a couple people that have been like, I know him, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll never forget that. Like, hope I bump into you a few more times. Like we need to get this going.
I might have to order something a little better than Chick-fil-A for James Gunn.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You might have to
Oh,
change it up.
man.
I mean, I'm gonna lose sleep over eating that. I'm telling you. All right, check out all we got going on at mostlysuperheroes.com/music/events /give. So much happening. Let's get into the news.
News and rumors.
All right, guys, a mixed bag of news today, okay? It's going to start low, and then we're going to build it back up as we crescendo to the meat. And to what you watching before that. We're not going to get too ahead of ourselves. Some major news, though. I mean, there's a lot going on. It's a new precedent. And, again, I always say a great time to have this podcast. But, unfortunately, we do have some sad news to talk about real quick. Chris Hemsworth, he plays Thor in the MCU. Recent news out of IGN after the show that he did, Limited, with National Geographic and I believe on Disney Plus, he discovered through his genealogy that he has a high probability of developing Alzheimer's. That apparently his parents have both the genes,
Yeah.
and that is like what can really make your likelihood of this happen. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
because of this is obviously incredibly jarring, shocking news. He is, of course, hitting pause, which is exactly what I would do. Going back to his family and saying, I'm taking a break from acting, at least for now, to get, he's probably going to just get in and start doing some research. But this is the news out of IGN. Dan, have you heard about this? This is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, my grandma has that, so it's in the gene pool. Don't know at this point. I also don't want to take a lot of those tests because I feel like you're just gonna get a bunch of bad news back usually. So sometimes ignorance is bliss. But when I read that, my heart went out to him, and this is kind of like some of these actors at about that age, and even like George Lucas did this at one point. He stepped away from making movies and stuff to raise his kids and be around family. Like when they're making that many movies, like Chris Hemsworth is, you're missing a lot of your personal life, and your kids are subjected to whatever that entails back home or on the road. So, I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he gets exactly what he's looking for, and I hope, we can see him again as it works for him.
As it works for him. Yeah, Carrie said it best, right? I think he's got it. Like, he's already had a pretty significant career.
if
this
he
is the
stopped
time
now,
to, this is the time to, take a minute and be like, hey, man, focus on your life, focus on your health. And, scary stuff, though.
Yeah.
Like one of those things where he goes into this. I haven't seen the Limitless thing. Anybody?
I
No,
have not
I'm gonna
either.
watch
And
it
it's
for
like,
sure.
I will definitely watch it now.
It was probably like, oh, you're super strong, powerful, handsome. Let's see what your genes are about. And, now we find this out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think his brothers are on the show too. So
I was
going to
say,
stuff with his brothers.
it makes me wonder, are his
Yeah.
brothers going to get this test as well?
I mean, probably now.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
now-
they have to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
sucks.
obviously some sad, bittersweet news. More to come too.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously the silver lining is catching anything early.
Oh, yeah, for
Is-
sure.
is like-
and he's still, 30s.
30s.
Late 30s.
Yeah, maybe about 4, yeah.
So, I mean, science is moving quick.
Yeah, and with his income,
Right.
who knows?
I mean, limitless.
Limitless. Right. Hopefully.
Yes,
Right.
please.
Okay. Next up, just 2 more bangers. All right. We lost a legend last week. Batman.
Yeah. The Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Conroy
No one will argue with that.
passes at 66. I'm gonna give it up for his career.
Oh yeah.
Before we do any sad stuff, I'm just gonna say, holy shit, what a guy. Andy, Batman fan, talk to me about how this hit you. I mean, this is out of nowhere.
Oh, I mean, this
From Gizmodo.
First thing I did was turn on the animated series because that is Batman to me. Like that was the reason why Batman has been my favorite thing now is because of I watched Batman '89 every day as a kid. Watched this show probably every day as a kid. I mean, this is just he is Batman. It was great to see him play live action Batman in the Crisis 50 Years.
Oh my
CW
God.
For a little bit there.
Yes.
I'm sure that's probably something that he was really wanting to do on his bucket list. So I'm glad that he got to do that before he passed for sure.
Yeah,
He guides me on my car every time I drive on Waze. That's that's going to hit different every time. Next road trip for sure. Like I said earlier, but what?
Batman the Animated Series. He also did Batman Beyond, right?
Oh, yeah.
Justice League.
Justice League
Justice
and
League.
So
and
many.
Unlimited.
All the Batman video games.
Yep, Scotty, what does
he
he
was
do?
he was an accomplished stage actor.
Yep.
I mean, I was probably 12, 13, come home from middle school, and this is what I turned on.
Yeah.
This was my Batman, and I irreplaceable.
Dun, 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 dun.
I highly recommend. He actually wrote a story for this year's DC Pride 2022 Free Comic Book Day release. First time he'd ever written a Batman comic, and it was more about him and his life as a gay man being Batman. Very, very good read. Highly recommend.
What's it called again?
I don't recall the name.
Okay.
But it was in the DC Pride 2022 release. It's like a 100-page comic book full of short stories.
Wow, unbelievable. Dan, I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
Batman to you, animated series
absolutely.
mostly. Any other connections?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it was same as like what Andy said. Like, this is my Batman as a kid. This is like Batman is my favorite DC superhero by far, and his voice is the first one I hear. Like, he made like him and Mark Hamill in that show, and then you'd always see on social media like since that came around, like their friendship, and Mark Hamill's voice is the Joker and his is Batman. Like when they put that in the video game, I think that was when I was in college and right afterwards. Like that was like the culmination of like all those years of watching the show. I'm like, now I get to be Batman, and it's Kevin Conroy who's voicing him. This is so cool.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah, same. Childhood for me, I really didn't even realize that it was Kevin Conroy when I'm watching the show when I'm 10 years old. You never know who the people are. Didn't even find out till, probably my early 20s that they're like, oh, Kevin Conroy, that's him. Instantly then a legend to me. Like his voice is like what I can't, forget. And then when I saw him in the live action Crisis on Infinite Earths, I thought, wow, this is amazing. Like full circle for this guy. Now he's just on screen as like actually Batman Beyond. Like this is so cool. Always willing to jump in. A huge giver back to the fans.
Yeah.
Showed up to Comic Cons, was doing it all the way through the end, apparently, until
sure.
the final end. Here.
I mean, I would go to Comic Con every year, the one in Chicago, and always there. Every year, year after year, talking to people, signing autographs, just it's a tough one.
We'll say R.I.P. We'll say thanks, and then I go to. Do we know how he passed?
I do believe it was some sort of cancer.
Some kind of cancer.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that. Kevin Conroy. Any other tidbits you want to say before we move on?
Thanks.
Thanks again, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
One more, then we're scoop. Get ready, because then we're gonna scoop it up. Okay. I'm a Power Ranger. It's the 30th anniversary of the Power Rangers. Like
Not
this
even
year.
a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Like when people talk about Power Rangers,
This is the Ranger.
This is the guy.
Yeah.
That everyone. I think this is what comes up first.
Jason David Frank, who you know as probably mostly the Green Ranger. Tommy.
White Ranger.
First as a bad guy, redeems himself, comes back as the White Ranger, and is from then on out, one of the leaders. Actually came in as a leader above the Red Ranger for I think those next 3 seasons is the White Ranger, and would go on to be coming into almost probably every Power Rangers iteration, which it's never stopped, right? And he's always been a part of it. Comes out of Joe Blow, passes away here, Jason David Frank at 49, unfortunately, to suicide.
Yes.
This was just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Like, this is as we're like putting together a show, right? Like we're like, man, we got Kevin Conroy today.
Yesterday, I think.
This is yesterday.
Yesterday morning. I think it broke.
Yeah.
And this is as close to breaking news as you get. This is fresh. This isn't one we've been sitting with. I'm gonna go first on this one. Just that one of the biggest reasons we're all sitting here right now is because of this show, and because of this guy. And I'm telling you, like this is what a lot of what raised me were shows like this one, of what it meant to be a good person, but also like you got to be able to fight is what I loved about Power Rangers. And this guy, Jason David Frank, a legend and a hero. Again, it's the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers. I was just texting you two about I'm trying to get like some of these guys on the show and stuff, and he's of course he's on the list. But this just hit me out of nowhere. Anybody who we go to? Dan, Power Rangers guy?
Oh yeah, I mean I was at the perfect age. Like I had all the original Zords that you'd make the Megazord, and then I had Tommy's dagger that played that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I had that,
a
like-
guy. Not to derail, but
Yeah.
a guy on Twitter tweeted like R.I.P. and he had the dragon flute up.
Yeah.
And I like put in like ba 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 da ba, like I typed
Yeah.
it out, and the guy was like, "Delete your tweet. This was my hero." And I was like, "Yeah, mine too."
Yeah.
He's like, "No, I watched this when I was a kid." I was like, "Me too."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't like that tweet though." I was like, "God, Twitter really has
Jeez.
derailed since." Anyway, yeah. So hero to you.
Yeah, I mean, it was like when you first saw the Green Ranger, and he has that cool like armor up top, and and he's kind of bad, and you're like, man, this guy's so cool. And then he gets in his Zord that's just as big as the rest of them, takes off his helmet, and you're like, oh, he's like one of the kids too, and just an iconic addition to the series. And then I fell down a rabbit hole a couple months ago just watching like highlight and you didn't know about the Power Rangers clips, and like he's been in so many seasons, so many episodes. Like I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure from what I watched that like he's probably been in more episodes than like anyone else.
Yeah, I think
Because
so.
he keeps coming back. I think he
Yeah.
was like the trainer at one point.
Yep.
He's been the leader, and so just it's always sad when somebody 49 like doesn't feel that far away these days. So it's sad to see somebody's life end early and to go in that way. So
Yeah. Andy?
Oh man, yeah, he was definitely my favorite Power Ranger as a kid. Like
Easily.
I don't even remember who I liked before he was on the show. Like, you just remember you always had that one that like
Maybe
when you're
the Pink
playing with
Ranger.
your
Yeah,
with
Kimberly.
Ranger.
Kimberly.
you're playing with
Yeah.
your cousins or whatever. You're like, oh, I'm the Green Ranger. I'm the Red Ranger. But there's no it's green always for me. Like my mom made one of my Halloween costumes. She turned a football helmet into like a Green Ranger helmet. Shout out to Paula Hunt. That was insane.
Wow.
Thank you for that.
Nice.
And I'll just never forget it. I mean, that was like just peak childhood right there. Just waiting for this show. I don't even remember. Was this like a weekly show or daily? I don't.
For me, it felt daily, but I think it was probably
exactly.
weekly.
We
I think
watched
a
it
Saturday
probably every
morning
day.
kind of thing.
Saturday morning, probably.
Yeah.
Man, it was. It really was. It was. It was part of one of those shows that we grew up on, no doubt.
Yeah, exactly. Like the toys, like
These
the
were the
toys
guys we
behind
looked up
this were
to.
insane.
Like it was like I want to be like Tommy. Like I want to be Tommy. Just like got his shit together, gets the girl, but like is kind of bad and edgy. He was a little bit different. And Scotty,
So I think I was just past the age
Yeah.
yeah,
when it came out, but my little brother wasn't.
Mm.
So, hey, my little brother, he won't shut up. He won't settle down. Boom, Power Rangers. And I'm not going to lie, I'm watching.
of course.
Of course I'm watching. But I always remember him getting so amped up, running around. He's doing the kicks, and he loved the Power Rangers. He had the action figures. Yeah, man, it's very sad.
And we obviously want to end on a note of, first of all, again, RIP, thanks for the work, and you'll never be forgotten, ever. Always be a, number one Ranger in most of our hearts. And definitely want to highlight that, this is a group that's been personally affected by suicide on many sides, unfortunately. And we just want to say, if you're listening right now, you're not alone. And we want to make sure that if you're having a hard time, that you can tell from this podcast alone that you're not alone. And there's a lot of resources out there for you. We have one organization that we're really close with, local here in St. Louis, called Team Jakey. And you can check them out. But, they refer us even to the AFSP.org. That's the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Apparently they are trying out a new hotline that you can call or text. It's 988. And you can do text TALK to 741-741. And again, great resource, AFSP.org. Listen, this is think about it this way. They're waiting on you to call. Like it's not going to be anything more. You don't know what to expect, except you're going to feel something off your chest.
Yeah.
It's obviously around, and we're here for you. So get some help, contact it. Contact these guys, look up Team Jakey, and just again, we just want you to know that you're not alone. At least anything, we're here for you. This group of nerdy
Right.
4 white dudes in a St.
7-5
Louis basement.
754 call log.
754 call log. We have a voicemail we're going to feature on the show today, and we don't just feature voicemail. Sometimes we just email you back and shoot you a text and say how
Yeah.
you doing. All right, guys, let's turn up the dial. Scotty, are you ready? We're gonna do. We're gonna hit the scoops. We're doing timers. I want rapid fire. Go ahead and hit us, and let's take us to the top here.
John Wick 4. We got a trailer, folks.
Yes.
And man, does it look amazing.
What are you seeing? What are you feeling?
Man, you're seeing John Wick. He's punching people. He's shooting stuff.
The story continues.
He's on a horse.
He's on a
in
horse.
the desert.
Yep.
You know, oh man,
And it's the same story.
it's the same story.
It's the
still
same
going.
story.
This guy's had the worst few weeks ever.
and it's now the 4th movie.
Yeah.
Dan, are you a fan?
So I have a confession. I just started watching John Wick. I got halfway through the first one, and I was actually on a plane, and I need to finish it. But it's on my list to go through because I mean, I hear so much good stuff, and they're on the 4th movie, and I'm like, I know I'm gonna like this. It's just like I had to sit down. So
Yeah.
I am in. From what I saw in the first half, I'm like, this is awesome. But it's one of those I want to watch on a TV. I
Okay.
realize,
You're gonna wait
like,
till he gets home.
yeah, so
Okay.
I'm like, I'm going to wait till I get home so I can watch it on my TV.
All right. And Andy, you're excited?
I'm the same as Dan. I haven't seen any yet, but after seeing the trailer yesterday during the movie, I'm fully in, and I'm going to see it probably start the first one this week sometime.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Sorry about that timer. I know that was a little loud. The next ones will be a little softer.
You're going to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Yeah, that's it. All right. Give us this one, Scoop.
Gears of War. Anybody play the franchise?
Never.
Yes.
You're not talking to me right now.
Yep.
It's a classic franchise.
Talk to your fans.
We're shooting things.
Uh-huh.
The bugs, the locusts, they're invading. Marcus
Phoenix.
Marcus Phoenix.
There you go.
We're gonna get a movie from Netflix and an animated series. Like they're going all in with this franchise.
And yeah, this is out of Variety and IMDb for the John Wick stuff. Okay, so tell us about. Didn't you say there's also a
we got-
celebrity that's making a move?
Dave Bautista
Oh, yeah.
will shoot you to be in this movie. He will do whatever it takes to be in this movie,
Okay,
and
he's
he is not being shy about it.
he's campaigning for it at
Yes.
this point. He's
for
like,
sure.
okay. Who else is a fan here? Who plays the game?
Yeah,
Who-
I've played 1, 2, 3, and 5. I got to go back and play 4. But
Just missed
no,
one.
I mean, they're great games, and the story's pretty good. I'm always 50-50 on these video game adaptations because that's about what they've given me the confidence level. And they did Resident Evil recently. I heard not good things, so I didn't even check it out. But then Castlevania, the animated series, amazing.
Oh my God,
so
Castlevania.
yeah, like
Woo.
I hope it's more like that.
All right. Well,
I want animated series more
Yeah.
than movie.
is
Yeah.
any timing on
Okay.
either of these movie?
Nope.
Nothing. It's just happening.
We won't see it for 2 years at least.
Okay, tell us about this one out
Oh,
of
here we go.
CBR.com. I mean, I'm going to highlight this one. James Gunn,
Huge.
Peter Safran, the new CEOs of DC. We haven't even been in his studio yet. Okay, apparently out of CBR.com, the DC Universe Bible is nearly complete. Who knows what this means?
This is their plan.
This is it.
You know, as like Marvel would put out there, hey, phase 1, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
This is their 8 to 10 year plan for their movie slate and where this DC universe is going to go.
Yep.
This
And
is so exciting.
I saw James tweeting about it earlier this week, and he said they're almost ready to present it to WB. So whoever it goes from there.
Do you think it's going pretty quick? Like the two of them are like, just sit down and write it out real quick.
Well, I can bet you these guys have had ideas in their mind rattling around, and especially James,
Who did the Suicide Squad,
the
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. You know, he's been in that Marvel mindset. He knows how that machine works.
And he's going to not be in Marvel anymore after like May.
Yep.
That's scary.
I mean,
Yeah.
who called it though?
We did.
Yeah.
And
of us.
Brandon, who listens to the show,
Yes.
he called it too. He said, give him the keys. He called and left us a voicemail.
Yeah.
And yeah, us, really, the show.
Yeah,
Mostly
good
superheroes
call.
called this. I mean, St. Louis. First, he's just this monster filmmaker. Now he's running DC. Guys, this is going to work.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
I wish them the best because
They've got a mess to clean.
they
up.
got a lot to clean up, and even with the most recent movie,
There was a house party, and
Yeah.
they're the parents who came home, and they're like, God, look at this place.
And it's
Yeah.
and you still have like a weird like grandpa that's the WB.
yeah.
yeah.
So don't forget about
Right.
weird grandpa in the corner.
And
He's
then
gonna
you've-
have something to
yeah.
say.
Well, and Ezra Miller's probably in the other
Yeah,
corner,
you've
like
got some
stealing
guys.
alcohol and
You got some
fighting
guys who are
people.
late to the party,
Yeah.
knocking on the door like the Flash and Batgirl. like, hey,
Henry
are we
Cavill's just
invited?
standing there, and he's like, "I didn't do anything. I didn't do
Right.
anything wrong. I was just here."
Is the Flash just gonna like soft reboot everything when it comes out?
I
Is
mean,
that what
I think
they're
that
gonna
was the
be-
plan
They're gonna use,
originally.
right.
Was
They
kind of a
can-
Flashpoint kind of event.
All right, we're
But you
off.
gotta-
We're in WandaVision town.
Yeah,
let's
let's
get
go.
Yeah, we
let's
are.
get going.
No
All right.
so.
Speaking of which, here you go. Go ahead, Scotty.
Here we go with Mr. Terrific.
What is this?
It's
James Gunn tweets a
Yeah.
photo, an obscure photo of Mr. Terrific. You like
Just
the one I threw up?
out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
From
boy, I know
Arrow.
that guy.
Arrow.
him.
What's his name? I don't know the actor's name, but there's been a
Oh.
live action interpretation of this
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
All right. So do we think James Gunn is teasing Mr. Terrific? Who is Mr. Terrific?
Mr. Terrific is a member of the JSA. And Black Adam, we've got to see several members of the JSA. Is he going to build on that?
I mean, his girl's in it.
Yeah, true.
And I mean, spoiler alert for
Black
Black
Adam.
Adam, which great episode. You listen to
Right.
the one before this one. Jennifer Holland.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
Is
Mr.
this
Terrific.
is this a solo project? Is it a team project?
Or did he just feel like maybe he just enjoyed seeing the picture and he was like, I'm just gonna share it.
and then here's something I just thought of. They teased another show by James Gunn on HBO.
What
that
was it?
wasn't Peacemaker.
Uh-huh.
They didn't say what it was.
It was just a
They
different.
said, "Hey, he's got something else in the works
Yeah.
for HBO."
And we talked
Could
about it.
this
It
be
could
it?
be Lobo, the other one that they talked about.
Yeah.
Could be.
He did the same thing with the photo. I think he's just effing with people.
Well, it's working.
Yes.
I hope
Yeah.
these are all great. Let's get like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman correct first. I feel like that should be easy.
Well, maybe
I
that.
would agree.
I don't know. Maybe that's where they
Is
messed
it?
up.
Is that where Marvel started?
No, it's not. They started with Iron Man.
Right.
All right.
Shout out Echo Kellum from
go ahead.
Arrowverse, Mr. Terrific, right there.
Yes.
You just
Oh,
asked who it was.
thank you. Yes.
It was a good Mr. Terrific.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
Got the
That
T-
doesn't
remember
look-
the T-Spears? He had those.
It doesn't.
Oh,
look,
yeah,
It
for
doesn't
sure.
look as cool as this, Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, how about this one? Out of
Oh.
comicbook.com, we got a tease of a series, Vision.
Vision. I heard something maybe Vision Quest
yeah.
could
I saw
could
that.
be
Which,
the
which
name
makes
they're
sense.
pitching.
If
Yeah.
you, just to call you guys back, the MCU fans that watched WandaVision, spoiler alert for that show,
Vision's alive.
Vision's
Yeah.
alive and his body is
or
like.
this Vision.
That's
is
that
alive.
was a good spoiler alert pause. That was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
He's like his memory's kind of gone,
Right.
But like not really because the other Vision kind of helped him out, and then he's this white Vision and he flew off. So
Yeah.
maybe a show. How we feeling?
I'm after every.
I like Vision. I'm excited for this. I
I feel
want to
like
see it.
after every movie or show, I'm like, where's Vision?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
where-
a loose
I
thread
keep asking
that I
myself
think
that.
we need tied up.
Well, it sucks how they introduced Vision in Age of Ultron, and it was like, man, this is going to change everything, and he's just never really changed anything.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
if you ask Rhodey.
Oh, maybe it'll be like he'll come back in Armor Wars, and it'll be like
Yeah.
a redemption
There
story.
you go.
It'll be like them versus each other, Vision versus War Machine.
Oh man.
Okay, next up. Tell us about this Spider-Man spin-off series
okay,
from
so-
Deadline.
Yeah, we're going to do a live action.
Hey, Scott's the one that emailed me the list.
Yeah.
by the-
It's not Scott's fault. Scott's not planning this stuff.
Right.
And he
Yeah.
is. This was his list.
I did
No,
plan this.
he's not planning the spin-off series of
Oh.
Spider-Man, which is up to 47 now, I think.
Silk.
This is supposed to
We've
be
got
live
none.
action
It's called Silk.
called Silk.
What is it?
An Asian South Korean lady gets bit by the same spider that bit Peter Parker.
Oh, come on. It made it to Asia?
Oh, I think she might be Asian American.
Oh, she made it to New York.
Yeah, and gets bit by the same spider, gets superpowers.
Okay.
Live
This is not a-
action,
this is not a Deadline.
Amazon, and maybe something called MGM Plus.
Oh, boy. Well, they're just you know what they're doing now? They're just
No.
announcing channels. They're just
Yeah.
like announcing Channel 5.
Yep.
Okay. What are you excited?
I
You wanna-
mean, I'm watching.
You're going to watch it.
Who's gonna skip it?
Andy's going to skip it.
No way.
Andy's watching.
I am too weak to do that.
You watching, Dan?
It depends if it's CW level or
I mean,
if it's got any
like
kids in it.
Disney
If this-
Plus level quality.
If this is Amazon, they're sinking some money into some.
Oh, I just finished.
Oh,
Lord of the
guess
Rings.
what?
Yeah,
We're
they
not
are.
done with Spider-Man. Let's go ahead and go to this one. Venom 3 gets their director, Kelly Marcel. This is out of Empire. I believe reading this, I believe Kelly Marcel was screenplay writer, I believe, on the first or
One
the
and
second
two.
film.
She was collaborating.
She worked
with
on both. She worked on both
in some capacity.
and she's worked on other Ed Hardy,
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy films.
Ed Hardy.
Tom, Paul.
They're distant cousins.
Anyway, so they got a director. It's happening. Venom 3, ready or not.
whether
you
whether you want it or not.
is anybody counting down till Venom 3?
I'm ready for a painfully average movie
Yeah.
to come out.
I mean, let's just nerd out about the MCU real quick, though.
Hopefully
Spoiler
they put
alert.
Morbius in it.
Spoiler alert for
That's the
the
ticket.
end credit scene of Spider-Man No Way Home. Venom
Yeah.
is in it. And it's like, okay, they're mixing and matching a little bit. You know, it wasn't like when Sony was off the rails with Morbius doing their end credit scenes that were just, made up. That was an MCU movie with Venom in it. So, and do you guys remember what happened in the movie?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got teleported
He got
away.
teleported out.
Yeah, and he left a little Venom
Little-
behind.
Yeah.
That's
Little-
gonna wait till Secret Wars till we see
Little
that properly.
symbiote.
Oh,
Yeah.
Andy's got all the answers. Okay,
Yeah.
next up, speaking of Spider-Man, this is the creme de la creme. Go ahead, Scotty.
Tom Holland.
Possibly.
Possibly. Rumors are he has signed a 3-picture deal and I believe still has 1 picture left in conjunction with Marvel. So
And this is still out of comic book.
we
I
could
mean,
get 4 more Tom Holland Spider-Mans.
Yeah, of course. Like we want to see this deal happen
Yeah.
forever, you know.
Yeah.
Keep bringing it. There was a time where we thought this wasn't gonna happen again.
Yeah.
3
where
years ago.
Marvel and Sony had stopped talking and someone dropped the ball and it ended up happening.
Some email went unresponded to
Right.
for too long.
Too long.
I'm all about this. The way that
Yeah.
movie ended, man. There's you talk about all the MCU characters you're excited to see in the next iteration. Think about how Spider-Man No Way Home ended and how
Yeah.
that character was more changed than anybody. At the end, what is that next movie gonna
Yeah.
be? Cannot wait.
Well, everybody on Earth
Totally
forgot
agree.
about him.
Is that what it was?
That's the
no,
That's the verbiage.
but wasn't it like
That's what
everybody
Doctor
in the
Strange-
multiverse? I
No,
thought
he
it was
says-
everybody.
He says everybody on Earth will forget who you are.
Don't look too much into it. I
Interesting.
remember whenever Infinity War ended and
Yeah,
Doctor
true.
Strange
Yeah.
hid the Infinity Stone, the Time Stone, in the stars, and when he gave it to Thanos, he his hand shook, and I was like, he did something.
Yeah.
He did something. He didn't do anything.
That was a different time stone.
It was not the. I really was like, he didn't give
That's-
away
I-
the actual Time
Right.
Stone. It was a different Time Stone. All right. We're really nerding out. Okay, how about Aubrey Plaza? You might recognize from Parks and Rec most recognizably, but in all sorts of stuff, joins the cast of Disney Plus series Agatha Harkness Coven of Chaos. This is out of CBR.com. Apparently, maybe going to be playing a villainous role,
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
I mean, 2 villains.
Yeah,
Great.
I was like, she's already a villain. Catherine Hahn's already a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe just an antagonist we could call her.
Yeah, okay. But I like to see the cast grow, the MCU,
That's good actress.
She fits
Yeah.
pretty well. Wasn't she in Legion? Right?
Yeah.
She
Oh,
was.
she
That was a
was
pretty
in.
dark.
Man, how good was Legion?
I like that.
It's a complicated show.
It's- yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys watch Legion?
I did.
All right.
I'm low excitement on this though.
All right, yeah. Talk to us about this show.
Yeah, you all felt very differently than I did about She-Hulk, and I think the Disney,
We all felt pretty differently.
I think the Disney Plus shows are all over the place.
It's a little jump the sharky for you.
Yeah, it was very jump the shark, and I'm like, what about in 10 years when you change the interface of the platform, and then people are like, wait, what the hell's happening when she's punching out of here?
yeah, right. When
Never
you're
thought about that.
when the app's
Yeah,
different.
like when the app's different,
Yeah.
it just kind of timestamps them pretty hard.
So you think this was
And-
like WandaVision did well? We're gonna make this show.
Yeah, I was actually looking at all the TV shows, and I'm like, where am I at? And I'm literally like 50-50, right? Moon Knight, awesome. I thought Hawkeye was pretty good. The Captain America Captain America Winter Soldier. I was like, yeah. I love She-Hulk at first, and then it lost me towards the end. And we got Daredevil in the mix. There's just
Mhm.
it feels like it's becoming this thing that maybe they're not keeping as tight as they did when it was just movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like at some point they're going to start dropping the ball on some of these loose ends, and I think we're
Yeah.
starting to see it a little bit. And I think even the movies, like this phase, hasn't been as good. And I think some of that might have to do with the shift to the Disney Plus shows. Also, you got to put resources and people and time and money over there. So how are you splitting up your creative talent? And frankly, like what I saw this character in WandaVision, I'm like, okay, interesting. I didn't need more.
Yeah,
I'm being
sure.
honest.
That was how I was too.
I was like, okay,
fine.
got it.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, but
All right, I'm with you. Anyone else? No other strong feelings. Probably all the same.
Go take it
Yeah.
up. Go take it up with Kevin.
Yeah, go talk to that Kevin robot. He'll help you out. All right, we got a casting for MCU title Wonder Man.
Wonder Man.
To be played. This is going to be a Disney Plus series, apparently, out of Variety. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who you might recognize from Mantis. Manta from the
Oh,
Aquaman
yeah.
films
Black
of Momoa.
Manta,
And also he's in... There's one other big thing that I know he's in. I can almost see him, but I can really see him from that Aquaman movie. Anyway, got a
Yeah.
casting here. Who's Wonder Man, Scotty?
Wonder Man is an Avenger.
What?
He is an actor who becomes an Avenger. I don't want to say founding Avenger, but pretty close. He was in the West Coast Avengers. I'm super excited for this. I think this is going to be another twist. I do believe what's his name from Shang-Chi and Iron Man 3 is coming back to be in this show.
Oh.
The actor guy.
Oh, that plays the fake Mandarin.
Yeah, the fake
Trevor.
Mandarin.
Trevor Slattery.
Yeah.
Trevor Slattery.
Yeah.
Okay, they're gonna keep
This-
that string going.
Yeah. This is I think this is gonna be good. I think he's a great actor.
I like the title Wonder Man.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Exciting.
Next up, we have something happening this week, actually. Hit you with some news. Coming up on November 25th on Disney Plus, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. James Gunn, second to last Guardians title coming at you here. Going to be a Disney Plus one, probably hour or so special. I believe the storyline somewhere around it's Christmas time. We're going to cheer up Peter. And like Drax and Mantis might be going to get like Kevin Bacon or something.
Yeah.
So get ready for a crazy wild ride. Who's excited for this?
This is the end of Phase 4, folks.
This is how
Yeah,
Phase
really.
4 closes out.
God.
James Gunn's like, ha ha. But here it's gonna be on your streaming devices. Perfect time for the holidays. This is
Man.
coming out on Friday. If you're
Friday.
listening when it comes out,
Perfect.
it's already sitting there waiting for you.
Can't wait to wake up out of
Yeah.
my turkey coma
Oh,
and flip this on.
Oh God, yes.
Friday-
Early morning hours.
Friday morning.
maybe heat
Bundled
some
up on the
leftovers.
couch. Yeah, have a little breakfast turkey.
Have a lot of laughs with James and just
Yeah.
think about how much I'm going to miss him making Marvel content.
Yes, and thankfully having Guardians 3 coming around in spring of 2023. All right. That's it for the news. Like we said, you can get the whole scoop usually in the Facebook group,
Yes.
Mostly Superhero Squad, exclusive, free,
Scoops
private.
daily.
I realized like you emailed it to me. I was like, that's nice. But I was like, really, I could just scroll down the Facebook thread.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Oh,
close.
That's all I did when I accumulated the titles.
Well,
I sent you.
just keep doing that, and that'll be
Yeah.
our process.
There we go.
Scotty got bonus points for the pod too because he offered to help with the slides.
Wow.
Yeah, so that people can offer, I guess.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah,
works.
I guess it's like
you
any.
know,
I guess any co-host can offer that anytime. I
Right.
guess I never knew.
well,
Cool.
when it comes time to give me my raise,
Yeah, next time you need me to help
Put
you
in the
move this table around a little more, just
Yeah.
I'll come over and
maybe
help
I get some extra pickles on my Chick-fil-A next time.
What will you make me eat next time that's controversial? All right, let's talk about what we're watching.
What you watching?
All right, we really got to keep it moving. We got timers going. Going to take us all the way to the break before we take a breath and talk about the meat. Let's get into it. Get ready. Andy, you're up first. You got 1 minute. Catch us up on the NFL.
NFL? Oh man.
What's going on?
Well, I hate the NFL now because the Steelers are really bad. I mean,
So it's usually so it's not really an update on the NFL. It's
just
usually
so
just
bad.
what you're feeling about the Steelers. on the
pretty
day.
much. I mean, we got a new quarterback now, Kenny Pickett. Was very excited to see
Kenny
him
who?
grow. Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
Very excited
Can he?
to see him
Yeah.
grow.
Yes, he
Yeah,
can.
He can't do much right now, but they just need a new offensive coordinator. But as far as the rest of the NFL, we got Patrick Mahomes just wheeling and dealing in Kansas City.
Oh my God!
I think that they're just going to probably win the Super Bowl in my
You think
eyes.
so?
I
Okay.
think
Who
that-
else?
I think
Who else
they
is
will.
up?
We
Who
got,
else is going to do it?
The Bills are very good.
Bills.
Okay.
Oh man, we
That's
might
my
see
money's
them.
on
They
them.
had their,
You calling the Bills?
I'm
Okay.
calling the
we
Bills.
almost had that snow game, but the NFL just moved it to Detroit.
A real
there was
bitch
about
move.
6 feet of snow.
A real
that would've
bitch
been
move.
You
on
just
the
got to
field.
play, right?
Yeah.
It would have been impossible.
People
would have died.
You play? You do watch it or?
Yeah, I watched. Did you see all the memes going around where they're showing the height of some of the players?
Yeah.
And the
Oh
snow
yeah.
was going to be
taller than the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a joke, but I don't know. It's just crazy how fast the season flies by. We're already
Yeah.
week 11, and my fantasy team's over, and
Yeah.
I only got 6 weeks left in the season.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
I'm 7-3.
Sucks.
7-3.
Two and 9.
I'm hoping to win that money.
Here, just manage my team.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's why I don't do it. That's like literally, I'm like, God, I definitely forgot again. I forgot
guessing.
again.
Well, I like yellow.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
Start the Rams.
I just look for the word buy, and I'm like, like move.
Bye.
Like, oh, this guy's got to buy. Okay. All right, I'll go up. This is a shout out to our good friend and a local artist and legend, Steven Walden, who's been on the podcast before. Hey, Steven, hope you've been well. This one's for you, buddy. Carrie and I watched the Saved by the Bell reboot on Peacock. It's a 3.9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Steven was right.
Coming in hot
This
with the
show,
score.
This show is witty. It is smart. It is hilarious. It is a joke on itself. And the humor is there, and it's a payoff. If you're a fan of Saved by the Bell, Carrie's a diehard. I was like not. Like I didn't really see most of it. I'm enjoying
a little
this
early
show
for you.
a little
think,
bit, just barely.
Yeah.
But enough. You know, I like that they were showing the reruns hard too.
Oh,
when I
for
was
sure.
younger, too.
Always.
So Carrie is like, there are jokes for her tucked in. So if you're a fan, this is gonna be for you. If you're not, you can sit down and watch this as like a fresh take on a sitcom that you haven't seen anything like it before, and it's truly funny and very well made.
Did it get canceled?
Yeah,
It's
plenty,
canceled.
plenty
Only
of
2
time to
seasons.
catch up before the next
Yeah.
season
Shit,
starts.
shit.
Yeah, it's 2 seasons. It got canceled. It's on Peacock. I hope it comes back. Anybody else seen it yet?
Nope.
No.
No.
You got to start that like reboot campaign.
I
Yeah,
got
know.
a quick segue though.
Saved by the Bell.
Quick segue. Speaking of Stephen Walden, he commented on our stream about 15 minutes ago.
Oh
so
my gosh, he
Alright.
barely
I'm gonna,
missed it.
I'm gonna provide his comment here.
Go ahead.
It must have been when you were talking about the Green Ranger. I'm a little too old for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but I do remember the Green Ranger being on the Hot Figures list in Toy Fair magazine several months. Peace to Jason's family and fans.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
nice.
Thank
wow,
you.
Steven.
Thank you, Steven.
And thanks for tuning into the show.
Got to get him back in here.
Yeah, we'll get him back in. I mean, I thought about. I was like, he'd be better than Dan in this episode, but Dan's here, so we'll have Dan
Thanks,
in.
thanks for the pity host.
I was like, I got Saved by the Bell, but Dan's still in town. No, I'm just kidding. We'll just have you both in here. Next up, we have Scotty Scoop tell us about this one, also on Peacock.
Yeah, Vengeance on Peacock, man. This movie kind of came out of nowhere for me. You got written, directed, and starring B.J. Novak from The Office.
Great.
I don't know how much to say about this movie without spoiling it. So
Oh, you got to go spoiler free. I've
Yeah.
never seen it.
BJ is a journalist and podcaster. He is at home, and he gets a call from this guy who says, "Hey, your girlfriend committed suicide, or not committed suicide, died, and you need to come down here to Texas." He's in New York, and come to her funeral. And he gets there, and she died of a drug overdose. And he tells him like, "Hey, she didn't do drugs. I think she was murdered." So he sees a window for a podcast about dead white girl,
Okay.
and this is a dark comedy and
Yeah.
a mystery.
Yep.
It really helps you see the other side of things. You got the city guy,
Yeah.
the country life. Man, this movie was great. Highly recommend. 3.7.
Wow, 3.7.
3.7. I felt really good about this movie.
Anybody else seen it?
No.
No, but I've seen the trailer, and
Okay.
No, I'm definitely
Vengeance,
gonna check it
Peacock,
Very
3.7
good.
from the Scoop. I like it. Next up, Danny Patron, you're up. I hope it's not.
All
Hope
right.
you're not too rusty. HBO
now
Max.
the White Lotus. So for those of you who haven't watched it, it's on season 2, which just started, which is what this picture is of. So Aubrey Plaza also in season 2. I would say watch the first season because the older gal there, I can't remember the actress's name. She's in
Stifler's
that.
mom.
Stifler's mom.
Stifler's mom, yes.
Yeah.
But then you got Christopher from Sopranos that's in it. You got the older guy there is also in Mythic Quest season 1.
Oh yeah.
Conchu's down there. F. Murray
Yep.
Abraham.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Whoa.
And it is a like vacation murder mystery.
Yeah, that's great. Great job. Yeah.
It always opens with somebody's dead, and then it's flashback 7 days, and you follow the life of all these people, and you're wondering who is it, because they do a pretty good job of hiding it. And everybody's like a little bit crazy, part asshole, but maybe has a good side to them. And it's a little funny, it's a little dark, and I'd give it a 3.6.
3.6. Is that for season 2 or the whole show?
I'd do the whole show right now. They're only, I think, I think the 4th episode just dropped.
Oh,
this
it's still in
Sunday.
progress.
Yeah,
Still
season
happening.
2 is still in
Yeah,
progress.
and I think there were 6 episodes in the first season.
Season 1 was great.
yeah,
season one was
season
fantastic.
was
You
great.
saw, and you see that, Andy? Did you
yeah,
see White
love
Lotus?
season 1. I'm gonna,
And apparently, like I guess there's like multiple White Lotus locations.
Yeah, it's
like,
basically like that's like the name of like the resort chain, if you will.
yeah, it's like Super 8.
Yeah, the first one takes place in Hawaii, and this most recent one, I believe, is in Italy.
Okay, I can't wait.
Stifler's mom, the only returning character.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was we've been letting it stack to binge. So
Yeah.
you've been watching weekly.
Yeah.
What night?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Of course.
Yeah,
Is
Sunday
it
nights.
not as good as Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay, but still something.
Still, yeah.
I'm stacking them too. It's a
You're
good
stacking them
strategy.
in?
It'd be a good one to stack because I watched the first season straight on stacked.
All right, 45 seconds for this one for me because it's been on the show before. Giggler made a recommendation probably close to a year ago
It's
to
been a
listen to a
while.
podcast called Smartless. Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, Will Arnett. We had a drive recently. Carrie and I celebrated our 3rd anniversary, and I took her down to New Orleans for some good old French, Spanish, American
Nowlands.
town fun. And we listened to probably 7 or 8 on the way down and 7 or 8 or 9 on the way back of Smartless. And obviously, there's your testament right there. I mean, anytime you listen to 15 podcast episodes, you found something that's special. I think what's special about this podcast is that it's a tight 1 hour, and it's 3 really funny celebrities that you've seen from all sorts of things that have a good friendship, and their humor is contagious, and they always bring in one celebrity. 2 of the guests, one of the guests knows whose it is, 2 doesn't, and it's just hilarious. Some of the recent guests they've had: President Joe Biden.
Whoa.
Who else?
Camille Nanjiani released today.
Charlize
Oh,
Theron.
nice.
Wayne
Tom-
Gretzky.
Tom Hanks.
Wow.
Everyone. They have like
Keep going.
A-
Who else?
A-list.
That's
I've
A-list,
listened
man.
to
No.
LeBron, they got LeBron James.
Catherine Hahn.
Jeez.
Robert Downey
yeah.
Jr.
Wish we had some friends like that.
Yeah.
Guys,
No.
you are the fan. You're the
There's just-
You are our
Yeah,
Robert
there's just-
Downey Jr.
You're
This-
Charlize
Yeah.
Theron. You got to go check it out. And they actually replied to a tweet of ours
Oh yeah.
and said like,
Oh.
thanks for checking out the show. So
Awesome.
I had to shout out Jason Bateman in one of the episodes. He called out. It was, I forget which one it was, but he said, one thing they've really been missing on the iPhone is mark unread on text messages, and that's the thing now.
Yes.
You update
Good
your
call.
iOS, you can do it now, and you can unsend emails. How are they doing?
Been waiting.
I'm not
for this
buying
for
it.
years. Wish I
I'm-
could have done that years ago.
I'm not buying it. All right, Giggler, you're up. Tell us about this Netflix title.
All right.
The
This is a-
Doctor.
TV show
Inside
or movie?
Man. This is a 4 episode like kind of short show. I don't even know what to call it really, but this was on Netflix. Inside Man features. Oh my gosh, is David Tennant? That's his name, right? And Stanley Tucci. The rest of the cast I didn't really know, but starts off basically you got he plays a vicar. I don't even know where this takes place, but.
What's a vicar?
They're like it's basically like a priest.
Oh, a
that-
priest.
Yeah,
Just say
like,
priest.
Yeah.
I know they said vicar in the show, and I just wanted to be accurate. I don't know what that is.
What's the
It's like an
difference?
English thing.
Okay, keep going. You got 30
Anyways,
seconds.
but so it starts off. You have like basically 3 different storylines, kind of showing you with. There's a reporter. You have the story of the vicar and his family, and then there is the main character played by Stanley Tucci that is he's on death row basically for killing his wife, and he's like been solving crimes from his cell, basically helping. As his time dwindles down. So basically, these 3 stories you don't know how they're connected, but they end up being very connected by the end of the show. Each episode kind of gives you little breadcrumbs as far as what's going on, but he's basically I can't say it's kind of like Scott Show
Don't
where I
spoil
can't
it.
say a lot without spoiling anything.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do
but
this.
It is just honestly, it's a just total mind f the entire time.
Rate it.
I go 3.3.
Anybody else seen it?
No, not yet.
No.
You said 4 episodes?
Yeah,
Like
it's
an
really
hour or
it's really
so?
short. They're
4?
only like an
Okay.
hour.
You had me at David Tennant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm in.
it's really good.
You had me at
There's
4
just-
episodes.
It
I was like, that's cool.
basically it's basically kind of like one of the themes of it is just like anyone is capable of murder. Like any one of us with the right situation at hand, we might.
Yeah,
someone.
obviously not. I mean,
But that's
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 pretty
a disturbing,
anti-murder earlier.
disturbing part of it.
I
But
stand by that.
I know I would agree. But yeah, it's pretty dark. But it's total mindfuck. But I love it. It was.
oh, there's your
so
F-bomb.
good,
Sorry,
yeah.
kids. Sorry.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Scott's
Sorry,
kids.
Sorry.
Tegan, Lila, Nora, I'm sorry.
Andy, you're
Earmuffs.
going back to back.
All right.
But
got
this is a round table, though, so the World Cup
I mean,
kicks
it's
off
oval.
today.
It's
all
oval,
the
but-
football. We got World Cup started this week.
Day 1, right?
Day 1 was yesterday. There was one game yesterday. Qatar. It's taking place in Qatar. U.S. hasn't been in it in 8 years.
Yep.
We already had our first game today. We tied Wales. Kind of blew it there in the 80th minute. We let up a
The 80th minute. I'm out.
Yes, yeah, we kind of blew it. We were up 1-0. We really needed to win this game against Wales. They ended up tying it, tie game for round 1. We're in Group B with Iran and also England. So we got a big game against England. Obviously on Friday, and then I think Tuesday against Iran. So we got those are some pretty important games. Any big soccer fans around to this table?
I'm wanting to be, and St. Louis just opened up their soccer stadium. We got a team now. There are games happening, so not yet, but like I'm ready.
Let's see what happens. But I mean, group stage is just starting. Like this is huge. Like it's just happening. It's taking place in Qatar, so there's games at like in St. Louis time. There's like 8 a.m., 10 a.m., like 1. So there's games going on.
Amsterdam
all the time.
Brewery locally. They're doing great nowadays. I'm sure they're happy.
Yeah.
And the World Cup's only once every 4 years. It'll be going for the next like 27 days, something like that.
Yep.
What do you rate the World Cup, Andy?
Right now I'm gonna go with like a 1.0 because we blew it. But I hope we can pull it around.
I mean, it wasn't a loss, right?
No, yeah, but it was just a game that we kind of needed to win. Like
Is
England,
that sticker? Is that U.S. team right there? Right?
right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah.
I got to shout out a guy I work with.
That's very cool.
His name's Jimmy, and he's a great designer, and he's made that sticker and those BVB STL, like the Borussia STL.
Gotcha.
He made those as well. So yeah, like you're talking about soccer fans, St. Louis. We're in the mix now. But World Cup worldwide, this is the most popular sport in the world, and you're gonna see it on your TVs. Dan, you a fan?
No.
Not at all.
Scotty, not at all. Okay, maybe eventually.
Doubtful.
This is the Gigglers football corner.
All right, I have one.
Good pick.
How about this? I even gave us a little bit longer just to see what Danny had to say about it, because my take will be a little bit different probably than yours. Carrie, this is a Carrie pick.
Whoa.
Oh.
And she told me, she's like, I've just been into Star Wars a little bit more, and I'm interested. Like we watched, you know what else isn't even on this list is the Jedi stories.
Tales of the Jedi.
And she's like into those.
That was great.
So we watched the Bad Batch, all of it.
Yeah.
The Bad Batch.
Had you watched Clone Wars, their introduction?
None of it. And
Okay.
I think that perspective was so unique. One, Carrie, nothing, it's like
Blank slate.
totally. And then for me, no Clone Wars, but man, just to get kind of spoiler alerty, just for like the synopsis, like where it drops you in timing wise is like really interesting. It's like the right before essentially Order 66 like goes down from the prequels, and it's like, okay, you're gonna jump in from here, meet the Bad Batch, essentially genetically altered versions of the Boba Fett type clones that we all know about. These are like messed up versions, that kind of ragtag group that kind of do things their own way. Right when it all goes down, like Order 66, the Empire's taken over. Holy cow. And I mean 15 episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
A story that you think about the Clone Wars animated, that's what kept me probably from watching this show sooner, was like, what's it going to look like? Unbelievable. This is some of the best animation you're ever going to see. It's like totally unique but feels real in its own way. I mean, the space battles, like you might as well just be watching a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. Such an easy show to turn on. I'll go ahead and give my rating from the side of it. I'd probably go 3.3. Carrie didn't give me a rating on it, but I bet she'd go higher than that. Have either of you guys seen it before I go to Dan?
No, I have not.
You've seen it.
It's
What do you
good.
think, Scotty?
Man, it's
I'm going to do
great.
him last.
I mean, anything Star Wars, you just sink your teeth into and just enjoy what you get. Real fun.
Dan, lay it on
Yeah.
us.
I'd probably be right in the same ballpark as you, 3.3. These animated series always have like filler episodes. It feels like sometimes, and this one, this one had a couple, but these characters are unique. It's a good conflict. It's a good time period in between 3 and 4, episodes 3 and 4. That is, seems to be like a pretty interesting. We don't know much of how they went from the Galactic Republic to the Empire so quickly. And, obviously, like, the Emperor becomes the Emperor, but then it's like, well, what about everybody else? Like, you don't just immediately become an Empire and have all this control. And so, I like it. It's the same kind of style as Clone Wars and Dave Filoni storytelling, which is always pretty good and very universe expanding.
As a kid, kind of in the focus, too, though.
Oh, if I was a kid, I'd be,
Well, I mean, like in the story.
Yeah, but it's a cartoon, so it's easier.
Yes,
and it's an adult voicing the child. So
Right.
that helps.
That helps. And he's like one of the gang, so that helps. She, right. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. All right, The Bad Batch. What would you rate it? Oh, you said 3.3.
3.3. Yeah, I think that's a good.
Would you
Good
rate
call.
it, Scotty?
Yeah, I'm same ballpark.
Yeah.
Okay.
3.2, 3.3.
All right. Another series on Disney Plus.
So have the rest of you guys seen this?
Okay.
I have.
We're talking about Andor. I have only seen the first 6 episodes.
Okay.
Andy has not seen it at all.
Zero
Okay.
episodes.
Scott,
Two episodes.
and you've seen all of
I've
it.
seen all of it.
So
yeah.
well, I guess what I'm going to tell you
Do
is
we still
it's
have an
not-
episode left?
Yeah, we still have more left.
what?
Yeah,
It's
which
still happening?
So I
11
didn't know that.
episode
Oh,
11
this is great then, because a
just
lot of people
debuted.
haven't seen it.
Yeah.
All right, so
Right.
this is
yeah, we'll
this
keep
is
it
your
very
time.
spoiler free.
This is your time to give us your take on it in a spoiler-free way so far.
Yeah, I love how I got 5 minutes.
Well, we'll see
You
how
know me well.
So, yeah.
But I mean, again, this is just a fun period. So this takes place before Rogue One, which is where Cassian Andor made his debut. Obviously,
the plans to steal
yeah,
the plans.
to steal the plans, and so you kind of get his origin story. You get to learn more about what his life was leading into becoming the kind of cold-hearted rebel that he was at the time. You know, definitely a more violent character than what we had ever seen in episodes, 4, 5, and 6. And definitely somebody who has felt the heel of the Empire time and time again, even when he doesn't want to, and just wants to be away from all of it. It's part origin story, part heist movie, part jailbreak movie, or TV show, I should say.
Feels like a movie though.
It does. It feels like a movie. The production quality is very high. There's some space battle stuff in there that's of very good quality. The characters, all the supporting cast, the woman who plays Mon Mothma is phenomenal. The woman who plays the Imperial, spy commander, the blonde gal up there, I can't think of her name. She's awesome. Just a very cold-hearted Empire spy master. Saul Guerrero, as you can see on the poster, makes an appearance. Good old Forrest Whitaker. And then I can't think of the older gentleman who's on there. He's a pretty big character in this. I don't want to talk too much about him because that'd be a little spoiler.
Yeah, but you can say the actor's name. He was in
Stellan Skarsgård.
He's in Avengers.
Dr. Selvig.
Dr. Selvig.
Yep.
And he's like a crucial role in this.
Yeah. Oh, big time. And great cast. The pacing's a little off, I think. Some of the episodes feel a little slower, and then some are just like I was on the edge of my seat. There's no kids. This is a very serious show. Very definitely darker.
Well, this is right after Order 6. No, I'm just
Yeah. So it feels like a lived-in Empire era Star Wars show.
Yeah.
Where things are bleak, everybody's suffering, and you're starting to see the sparks of rebellion and how the Rebel Alliance came to be and how fractured it would be. And I just think overall, I've really enjoyed it. The actor that plays Cassian is phenomenal.
He's so good.
He is so good. I think he's so engaging. He's so just believable in the role. Couple other guests that aren't on this that pop up at some point that are pretty big names. Don't want to spoil that. But overall, I'm probably a 3.8 on this right now.
Wow, so far it's not even over.
Yeah, this, I mean, for me, I've enjoyed this as a consistent story, probably more than The Mandalorian. I think The Mandalorian plays on fan service a lot more than this does. This doesn't really have really much fan service at all. It's truly just a well-told, concise story that's easy to follow, where you're rooting for the good guys, but they don't always seem all that good.
Yeah, and Darth Vader's not right around the corner. Luke Skywalker's not popping in. I mean, I said it to you in the text. Great overview. Thank you for sharing that. And great. I like to hear that you're already rating this thing. That means you're really already feeling it. This is the underbelly of the galaxy. I love how you said it. The sparks of rebellion.
Yep.
I love how they tug on different parts of society coming together too that normally wouldn't in the society, and you're getting ties back to the prequels where the Senate and everything's happening, and the city is still there, and the rich are still rich. And,
that's that's something we've never seen, right? You can see the poorest of the poor and the richest of the rich, and we never saw what are the people who are benefiting under the Empire? What does their life look like?
There's a guy having a party, and his wife's don't you realize there's more going on? Non-spoilery things. I loved it, and it also. They're making it for an audience for today, which, God, that is always it, right? Trying to tell a story that's unique and powerful to itself, but the story is usually kind of paired with the tone of the country and the world, at the time. And Andor is, totally, tapping into it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, money, weapons and people.
And greed. And
Greed.
yep.
Yeah, like these are things you need to fight a war, and when you're starting a rebellion, you got to have those things. And how do you get them? And how do you organize? And
What do you tell, as we get 20 seconds left, what do you tell any Star Wars fan on the fence about watching this?
this would be one of the easiest places to step into it. If you're already a fan, like I think The Mandalorian and stuff might be a little bit more because there's way more tiebacks to the cartoons and stuff. There's hasn't been any of that.
That's why I like this, though.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Yeah,
on its
me
own.
too.
Which is
Me
also
too.
why it's a good fit for probably if you're not a Star Wars fan. You don't have to know anything.
Yeah.
You don't need to know really anything. Maybe watch Rogue One, maybe, or not. I
Or
thought
not.
about
You don't even need to.
You don't need
because
to.
it happens after
And
the
maybe,
show.
and what if there are more than one seasons of this show? You might watch like 4 seasons of Andor and then watch Rogue One.
See, that's what every time I've sat down to start the show, I'm like, well, I need to watch Rogue One first.
No.
And I've been like, I don't want to watch Rogue One that bad.
Have you
So
not
I
seen
haven't
it?
started.
That's
It's
where
like
you're-
the it's like the
that's where you're
best. That's where you're screwing up.
You know me in Star Wars. It's just
You'd
just not
have
there.
to.
You need to talk to
Man.
You guys need to be texting more.
Yeah, what is going on?
What's going on?
Can't force it. Can't force it.
All right.
I can force it.
I mean,
Well, it's the Force.
I have the force.
All right, here we go.
Consent.
Listen, we're not going to use all this time, but I just know you two have been really excited, and we got a new.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is a iOS and Google Play video game that like you can play on your phone. It's a
Yes.
phone game, probably
Phone, tablet.
tablet. Probably even computers if
Yeah,
you really want to.
I'm
Tell us
sure.
about Marvel Snap. Scotty, you're
Marvel
first.
Snap.
What's going on with Marvel
Man,
Snap?
this is such a great pick up and play game in the same line as Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone or Pokemon, the trading card game. Really easy, really simple. Plays back to like card collecting. I don't know if anybody in the 90s ever collected the comic book cards. Man,
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Definitely
Even the
Pokemon.
Marvel cards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have
You
Marvel
know,
cards.
Yeah.
I got some vintage Marvel cards.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. Beautiful artwork. Very simple game. You create a deck of just 12 cards, and each card has a cost and a strength. They have little different powers on each card. You play it against an opponent,
Yeah, points.
and
It's like points.
Man, like what, 3 minutes?
Yeah.
You're playing-
there's
you're
like
playing a
three,
live
3 minutes
person.
and the game is over.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot. You're normally against a live person. Sometimes
Yeah.
they make questionable decisions, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a bot.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But
What's
there's like
the-
three. There's basically 3 like zones that you're trying to control and get more points than them. And there's 6 turns, and you basically start with 2 or 3 cards.
Yeah,
and
it's like 3
then
cards.
You get a new one after each turn, and you play one strategically. Like the costs like
to
goes
play
up each turn.
goes up each
There-
turn.
yeah.
The first round you have 1 point.
And you're
So-
picking you're basically picking like characters at a time.
You make your own Avengers lineup,
yeah.
And
basically.
they do things. Some things do things that affect the zones and like
Yeah.
the rules.
You can
Some things
see
do things to
under
affect your opponent's cards. that
under
you
the
might steal their
Spider-Woman.
cards.
Oh yeah.
under the
just-
Spider-Woman, afflict all enemy cards here with -1 power.
So it's just
You know.
all strategy,
Yeah,
just like these
a
games.
lot of strategy.
Okay.
This
Very
is-
cool.
It's a mobile game, so how does it make money? Because that's
So-
always my hesitation.
Well, then you
with
can
this
buy
stuff.
points.
100% free to play,
Yeah.
and you're
But they'll take your
only-
money.
You're only paying for variants. You can see the original card they give you for Wolverine, which you just play
Just
and
an
unlock.
artwork variant.
And then look
And
at this
then-
naked little Wolverine.
And then you pay $2 or whatever for gold, and then you can unlock a variant every day. They change the variants that are
Are the
available.
powers different on the
Nope.
variants? Okay.
100% the same. This is all
For now.
okay.
Yeah.
I know how these work.
every month they have a season.
Okay.
You pay $10 for the season pass.
You get the variants.
Last month it was Carnage.
Hmm.
This month is Black Panther.
You just build a little collection in your.
You just build a little, you can see the Warriors of Wakanda here. That's the event for this season because, it's
Black Panther.
Black
Wakanda
Panther,
forever.
Wakanda Forever.
That's why
is
we're all
out.
here too. Yeah.
Right.
Let's play each other right now.
Yeah.
I wish we
Mm,
could.
they
I don't-
probably-
I
yeah.
don't know that we can do that yet.
Yeah. Don't play any noise or anything. I played it. I
you
downloaded
guys
it.
podcast
Did
me
ya?
and Scott are gonna just.
All right.
game
Have
out.
you heard of this?
I've heard of it, but so I played like Marvel, what's it called? Heroes or something. It was a hero collector game, and it was really fun at first, and then they eventually become these monetization machines. Hopefully this doesn't. And they were constantly looking at the data and finding ways of trick you into spending money to keep your team.
Well, I downloaded
Up.
it, I played it, and within one day I was like, it just feels like I'm at the coolest slot machine ever. The one and I'm just at the casino and I'm at Harrah's.
That's
and
what
it's
they're
like,
supposed to feel like.
you play the Wolverine card, and he's like, "I'm the best there is at what I do." Stuff like that.
Yeah, and they do. What I liked was some of the writing. Like they really had some really good character
Yeah.
lines and call out stuff like that. So if
You know,
you're
the sound effects,
if you're into the card collecting, battling frontier, you're a Marvel fan. Marvel Snap is like the latest in the game from iPhone apps. It seems like.
it's really the artwork for me.
Yeah.
Okay, you
I
like the
really
artwork, you
enjoy
like
the
how it looks.
artwork, and I play Hearthstone a lot. I do play Pokemon sometimes.
And
Trading card game. It's fun.
Yeah.
And it's fast.
And Scott has the 100% guarantee never lose rule in Marvel Snap, so we'll put this on TikTok and get 30 million views. But
That's
we'll
right.
share that next week on our Patreon only exclusive.
This sounds like a money maker for us. So yeah, I'm
that's
in.
what it would be.
One of the things I like about this game is you can, if you're losing, you can quit.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You
just
can
be like,
retreat
I'm out.
because when you're
Bunch
playing
of
the
quitters,
game,
these kids.
when you're playing the game, you're making bets, which are called snaps,
Oh man.
and
Yeah.
whether you win or lose, you can lose levels.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the snap that Thanos did.
Right.
I thought it did.
Well, I mean,
It's just like snap.
just-
Here's your cards. I was like,
She's
where's
going to go snap and all your money's gone.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could tell right away. It's like buy the Supreme Deluxe deck.
I bought the first season pass, and I did not buy the second one
Yeah.
because, it's just a different skin.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks to Scotty for telling us about Marvel Snap. Andy
Super
too.
fun game.
Super fun game. Get it
I
on
will check it
iOS. You can also get it on Google Play. And what's this one? Steam.
Yeah.
What's Steam?
Steam is a
That's computer.
game ecosystem
Computer,
for
I
a
think,
computer. Yeah.
All right.
Just
And
gonna say snap. Your money, half your money's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Well,
Soon
Andy,
enough.
Dan said that 3
What are
minutes
you
ago.
doing? Where
Thanks
you
for
been,
stealing
Andy?
my joke.
What were you
Jeez.
doing over here? Scott sent me.
Sorry, Dan.
I said all your money's gone.
I was probably
so-
playing the game.
You're probably-
Wait, that's verbatim what he just said.
I just won.
That's why I thought it sounded like such a good idea.
Yeah, right.
I got 8 snaps while you guys were all talking about
Oh
that.
god, that's great. Okay, and of course, guys, we said it. The holiday season is here, and we're gonna give you a holiday rundown. I got a few movies here for you. Just going to go real quick. Now I'm gonna use the timers. Apple TV Plus. Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell are in a musical called Spirited. And it is the Charles Dickens story, Scrooge, A Christmas Story. It's like that, and now blown out in a modern story for today. These two singing their asses off. I think what I would say is another really good example of writing for an audience for today. This is about, the premise of A Christmas Story is like, can we help this person become a good person?
Have you watched this?
I have seen
Okay.
it. Yeah, I would. Yeah,
Oh, it's out already.
this is
I didn't
out.
realize
This
it
is
was
on.
out.
This
Yeah.
on Apple Plus.
Okay.
It dropped like November 20th or something. Maybe 19th. It was just literally within the last week. And it's crazy. I mean, I heard about it actually on the Smartless podcast. Ryan Reynolds was on the show, so he's
Yeah.
talking about it.
Nice.
And this was looking at like, what does it mean to be a good person, and like, what is a good person nowadays, and what does it mean to actually live in the real world and be like nice and good.
Mhm.
You're gonna have some good laughs. I think it kind of drug on at bits, and they really went all in on this and got kind of carried away, which you can feel it. The numbers are big. Ryan Reynolds is singing. Will Ferrell's got a voice of an angel. Really good. Check this one out on Apple TV Plus. And then if you're like my partner, you love cheesy Christmas rom-coms.
Oh no.
Anybody else?
I think Carrie should go through like all the Hallmark Christmas
Oh,
movies
she does.
and rate them.
Well,
yeah, I'd
this
like her
one,
to be
this
here.
one, we
Yeah.
got 3
on
for
the
you.
Christmas episode.
We got this one for you, man. Maybe for the holiday special, she comes and does like her top 10. I
Yeah.
talked about doing like Carrie's Corner or something. This
Oh,
one's
yeah.
called Falling for Christmas. Oh, yeah. This one stars Melissa Joan Hart.
Of course.
You guys remember Melissa Joan Hart?
Oh,
That's
nice.
that's
You're
what
really-
they want you to ask.
It's-
You're
Remember
really
this?
speaking
Remember
to
this
me
person?
now. I
It's
might
on-
have to check this out.
It's on
Sabrina.
It's on Netflix.
Clarissa.
Clarissa.
Sorry.
It was
Yeah, yeah,
Clarissa. Yeah, good job.
No, Sabrina,
It's
the Teenage
Sabrina-
Witch.
Sabrina, Teenage
And
Witch,
Clarissa
Explains it all. Yes, exactly. Of course.
Ooh, boy,
Um,
13-year-old Scoop.
So
He's
yeah,
there.
Falling for Christmas on Netflix. This one I think is something about like a hotel owner She works at a hotel. He's kind of evil. And then there's this cute guy that runs a B&B nearby. And what happens is she loses her memory. And she has to stay at the Airbnb.
Oh, it's like an overboard situation.
It's overboard. It's totally overboard. I said that immediately when Carrie told me about this. Falling for Christmas on Netflix. Carrie gave it a 3.0.
Okay.
All right, next
that's
up,
high.
Mistletoe in Montana on Hulu.
Wow.
The hell
Okay.
is this?
This
I want
is
the job of
all right.
naming.
Wait a
these
minute. Is that
movies.
Melissa Joan Hart? Did I get these mixed
It
up?
might be her again.
No, it's not. It's different. It's a
That
different
is
cast.
not Melissa Joan Hart.
Okay, Falling for Christmas is somebody else. So Carrie's gonna kill me. She's like, you're gonna mess this whole thing up. Mistletoe in Montana is Melissa Joan Hart. This is the story with
does-
amnesia and the.
It's like
it does look like-
an
looks like
older
her, yeah.
Melissa Joan Hart.
Yes, it is. Mistletoe in Montana, Hulu. Melissa Joan Hart, 3.1. I can't tell who this is in Falling for Christmas.
She kind of looks like one of the witches
Was there one with Lindsay Lohan
from
that was coming out?
Charmed.
There is.
Is Lindsay
apparently.
Lohan making a Christmas
Well, you
movie?
know, it's funny you say that. That is the Lindsay. Wait,
That's not.
that's
That's
it.
not Lindsay Lohan.
No.
I put in the Lindsay Lohan movie though. That's it, guys. I'm pretty sure. Google it, Andy.
Lindsay
Done.
Lohan. There's
Look,
a lot of
Google-
Photoshop if
Goog-
that's Lindsay Lohan.
Hey, Google it. Look, Google Christmas. Lindsay Lohan Christmas
I don't
movie.
see any red hair in that.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then guys, who recognizes this lady? Lois
The
Lane.
Enchanted
Oh.
Christmas Cake.
Erica Durance on Hulu is in the Enchanted Christmas Cake. Premise: her grandma died. She ran a bakery, had a secret recipe that caused people to fall in love, and it was some kind of cake. And now she's the granddaughter, and she's running the bakery. And there's a producer in town who's got this evil kind of baker guy, and everyone's after the recipe. She can't even remember it. And anyway, Carrie gives us a 3.2. It's the Enchanted Christmas Cake.
Whoa.
Why is there so much can't remembering things in these movies?
Real.
That's how they all.
It's a lot of.
I
yeah,
want to write
nobody
for
does
these.
anything.
Falling for
movies.
Christmas was the Lindsay Lohan. one.
I may have.
That is.
that I
Did
guess
I-
that's
is it the
not
wrong
Lindsay
poster?
Lohan.
What do you got? Show me the poster.
that.
Okay, this looks totally different than what.
Maybe this is the wrong. This is probably like the Hallmark Falling for Christmas.
Okay, I'll put that in post. Text me that
Oh,
picture, Andy.
man.
I don't know what this one is. All right, so
Did
there's,
you make this poster?
there's your Christmas roundup. Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving. Okay, let's get into the meat. I mean, are you guys ready to take a break? Go ahead and breathe a little bit. Got your holiday movies, and before we get into Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2, we are going to take a breather, so stick around. We'll be right back.
You've heard others, but nothing could prepare you for the shameful stupidity that is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Hear Imran,
So if you offend everyone at once, it's a wash. I've covered everybody.
Anthony,
Sorry, I was texting. Say that again.
and Rug Boy
Yeah, whenever there's a snowstorm, my Slack hole tightens up.
as they talk over one another.
Just exactly
John
the same
Connor
as,
was the
as
fucking Terminator.
We're talking over each other. It's fine.
Sorry.
Swear
I had boobies.
and ask you for money.
Just give us the money.
Witness the hubris as they claim to be the world's authority on comic book movies.
Who's that?
Never said that. You've never said that.
Who cares? A jock said that.
Comic book, TV, movie reviews, news, and whatever they choose. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you find your favorite podcasts. The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Campy, silly, goofy fun.
Seriously, people really listen to this.
Jock and Nerd.
The meat.
Welcome back from the break. This is Mostly Superheroes, and we are here in the basement, St. Louis, Missouri, with Danny Patron back again. I got some feedback coming in. You guys hear that? It's like a little buzzy, I think it was me. It's my phone. Sometimes when you get a phone just right up against the cables, apparently it just doesn't like it. It hums and it hisses, but that's real life. We're live on Twitch and Facebook and YouTube and all of it.
Doing it live.
Doing it live. And if you're joining us and you're with us the whole time, I don't know, maybe think about what's going on in your
Yeah.
life.
Or
Or
754 call log.
754
You might as
call
well
log.
just be part of the show.
I really appreciate you guys that hang out with us this whole time.
Yeah.
I hope our voices aren't wearing on you too much, and we want to hear yours. Yeah, give us a call at 754 call log, especially when we got a movie like we have today. This is one that's been on the radar for such a long time, and it's probably one of the most complex sequels we've ever brought onto the show. And I want to do a little recap as we do, even before we drop the title and say spoiler alert, just a little history lesson. We're talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a unbelievable venture that has just exploded, and this is the 30th film out of the MCU, actually, we're talking about today. A lot more TV shows and all sorts of other
we're probably running up on
Wow.
50 titles. by now.
Titles about 50 probably, yeah. This is the 30th movie, and you might remember a little movie called Captain America Civil War, one of the coolest movies of all time. I think that was like 2016, 17, somewhere right in there, and something like 15 superheroes are in this thing.
Yeah.
All right, you got Captain America versus Iron Man. You got Vision doing some stuff with the Scarlet Witch. You got an introduction of Spider-Man. When your love is free. And you feel This is how many times I've seen these movies. And another character that fans were ready for.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. I didn't know. But I would. I'll tell you that. Black Panther makes his debut on screen. First fight ever in the MCU is against Bucky Barnes and Captain America on a rooftop, and you really get to see what this guy is made of. King T'Challa of Wakanda, played by Chadwick Boseman, makes his debut on the screen, and it is a moment of pause. And then not long after, a movie comes out called Black Panther, starring the actor in his lead with finally the debut of one of our first African-American-led superhero films. I mean, this is unbelievable. The movie skyrockets, and Wakanda Forever becomes a movement of, what I want to feel like little American black kids all over just going, holy shit.
Finally.
Holy shit. This guy comes back in the Avengers Infinity War movies. He's part of the epic storyline of what happens there and comes back, and it is actually the character that comes back in Avengers Endgame for that all big moment that we know about in that movie. In August of 2020, the world is struck in a day, in a moment. Chadwick Boseman has passed. What? This young, crazy actor at the peak has passed away from cancer.
Stomach cancer,
I believe it was some kind of colon
cancer.
Yep.
And you remember, Andy, we had just started the pod.
Yeah. I
We're
think
only a couple months in.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, okay, we're going to break this story. And I remember just the weight of this doesn't feel real.
Exactly.
You thought it was one of those headlines, just clickbait.
Yeah.
Famous actor dies. I really thought.
Right.
We had no warning. He didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a
Well-
public thing that he was even sick.
And as the story now goes, we know a lot more about this now. He didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Kept this
Suffered
thing.
in silence.
Suffered in silence. Fought to the top. You've seen him in other films. I know 42 was a big movie for him. Had in many others. He even had a film come out after his passing. Maybe even a couple.
Oh, it was on Netflix, I think. He was some sort of soldier.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was one where he was like an agent or something, like with a train. I remember. I don't remember the title. of this
21
one.
Bridges.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I think he was in that.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I had not seen it though.
Okay, so obviously, monster plans for this guy. Monster plans for the character T'Challa, which T'Challa in Black Panther, I mean, Scotty, I don't know how much you know comic book history-wise, but a character that started in the 60s.
Yeah.
And with a history of its own.
Right.
Of this character T'Challa is now up on this mantle of we're going to take this into the MCU for forever to come.
Yeah.
Well, now we've lost our king, tragically. R.I.P. to the legend. 2022, here we are. This movie has been on the calendar. Kevin Feige, up at Comic-Con. It's up on the schedule probably in 2019. well, Black Panther 2 is coming. I don't think they even had the title at the time.
I don't think they had a title, and I know Ryan Coogler had like finished his first draft of the script for the movie.
Yep.
When he had heard about the passing of his star.
Yes, it's the second movie.
Yeah.
He's already got it down. Yeah, Ryan Coogler, director, one of the writers on the film, and here we are, a rewrite for sure, and a movie that comes in with a lot of weight. Here we are, though, in November of 2022. Spoiler alert for the film. We're going to get into the story. We're going to tell you who made it, talk about how it's doing out there, and really focus on the story. We're talking about Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Spoiler alert right now. All right, we've all seen it. I saw it a few days ago. It's only been out for
week.
1 week.
10 days or
Yeah,
so?
10
You
days.
saw it a week ago, Dan.
Yeah, last Sunday.
You guys saw it last week.
I saw it on the Saturday after it came out and last Saturday.
2 Saturdays in a row
with the giggler.
with the giggler. Hey, how'd you guys have a good time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And who else went with you?
We had Mike Harrison, Mike Key, the boys.
Yes.
Mike and Mike.
Yep.
But it was a...
Was that their first time?
It's weird going into it with somebody. Yeah, it was their first time, so it's like,
Don't say
it's
anything.
Yeah.
I mean, just... it was so
Yeah.
good. We'll get
Here's
there.
the box of
We'll get
Kleenex
there. Yeah, exactly. I was like,
for the
there,
sad
oh, there it
reason.
is right there. We might
Yeah.
need this today.
Yeah.
Well,
Everybody can grab it.
Yeah.
I don't have any sniffles today, so I don't need it. I won't need them.
Well, you might get them here soon because I know I was crying at the beginning. I'm crying at the end. I'm crying in the middle of this thing. Why? What is this? Okay, this is not just a sequel. This is obviously a rewrite. It's what do we do with this character? This is one of those things where it's a decision's been made.
They were definitely torn.
They were.
Do we
Yeah.
recast? Do we
Yes.
cancel the movie?
This is up in the air
or
for
do
the
we
longest time.
completely rewrite this whole thing around this event, knowing that this isn't what we originally planned?
Yeah, this movie kind of already comes in before you ever sit down to see it. It's got a chip on its shoulder.
Yeah.
It's got this weight to it of what did they do? How will this work? And
When
I'm really excited to talk about the story.
You have to imagine sitting in the writer's room. They're like, everybody wants to do right, but they know that there's going to be such a fine line in like doing this correctly and misstepping in the tone. In, if you recasted them, it's like, where do you go from here?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the decision they made was excellent.
Yeah.
And, we're going to get into it, but wow, I think you couldn't have done more tribute to him than what this was.
Yes, and you're going to feel that throughout the
Yeah.
film. Hey, great segue. Let's talk about the folks that did make it. We're going from IMDb Pro, an Amazon company. We use them, and it's really great. Gives us everything we need. A little bit about the film. Director Ryan Coogler back again, writing the film with Joe Robert Cole, who also did the screenplay. Producers Kevin Feige,
Of course.
Mr. Kaevin. That's what we're all going to be. They really made him into a robot, and it's not good for Kevin. We're all going to think robot forever. Nate Moore also producing the film, composed by Ludwig Göransson. Cinematographer Autumn Durald Archipel. Editors Kelly Dixon, Jennifer Lame, Michael P. Shaver. Casting director Sarah Finn. I believe Sarah Finn does a lot of casting for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And production
Doing a
designer.
great job.
Absolutely. Production designer Hannah Beechler. You think she did a good job on this movie?
Oh man.
Holy cow.
Award winning.
Oh my
if
gosh.
you ask me.
I mean, I don't know how you make stuff look like how they made it in this movie.
Man, the visual
Mm-hmm.
in this movie is
I love the
second to none.
I love the color.
The color.
Like the color in the first Black Panther and in this one is just, it's so unique and real that, like, even you can see the villain on the poster there when we go and see some other stuff in the show. I just think it was all done like very well. It just makes it believable, vibrant. The color displays the energy, whether that's somber or uplifting, war times. Like, I think the first one and this do an amazing job with that.
And speaking of the first one, absolutely a nod to it that they bring back most of the cast.
Yeah.
We got all sorts of names here. Some that I'm gonna butcher through, and I'll do my best. But Letitia Wright, Shuri coming back, I mean, this was T'Challa's little sister, brainiac, badass that we meet.
Breakout
in the first
star of the first one, honestly.
Immediately, one of future Avenger right here.
Yeah.
This girl's gonna be going places, right? We never see the route that was gonna be going now, but totally has the chops to do it.
Yep.
All right, we got Lupita Nyong'o playing Nakia.
Lupita.
Thank you. Scotty, what about that next one?
Denai Guerrera.
Okoye. Winston Duke. M'Baku. Angela Bassett. Queen Ramonda.
Doing a lot of work in this.
A lot of work. Bringing the emotion, the passion, the fire, the mama, the queen. Tanoke Herta introducing, actually. I mean, spoiler alert for the film, really, but it's on the poster, like Dan said.
Yeah.
Namor or Namor. Martin Freeman coming back again. He's like, don't worry. They still got a white guy in here. He's like, I'm that. I'm the white guy in the movie.
And that's the part that could have been left out.
Yeah, I know. It was like, I guess it was like, okay, we got to bring this guy back in.
We gotta tie it to something else somehow.
I loved how he was just jogging too. It's like, we'll just find him. Dominique Thorne, Riri
Williams.
Yes, Riri Williams, of course.
Ironheart.
The introduction of an Ironheart character. We'll get to that. Florence Kasumba Io, who we also saw in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Michaela Cole, Aneka, Alex.
I think she was new, not in the.
Yeah, I was saying. And then these are some new characters too. And then we have Mabel Cadena playing Namora. Okay, nerds, we know what you want to know too. How'd it do? All right, right. This is
did great.
Highly anticipated film. This is as of yesterday. I don't know if we have any current numbers, Andy. But as of yesterday, opening weekend was at $181 million. Gross, U.S. and Canada, $287 million, just shy of 288 yesterday. And I saw this on the news this morning that it had broke over $500 million box office worldwide. Any new numbers that we should be throwing up here?
That's about what I'm seeing too on standard Wikipedia, though. I don't have the fancy one. Or not, what do you have? No, that's IMDb Pro.
This is IMDb Pro.
Sorry,
it's a little fancier than IMDb. Not everybody can get access to it. It's a special login, different screens. So, we've really got the real stuff here. The movie meter looks like it's at a 1. Still don't really know what that totally means. News articles mentioned. Over 2,100 articles written about this movie. I mean, this number goes all the way. I mean, that's about as high as I've seen.
Yeah.
It's
hot.
It's hot.
Deserves to be.
It does. All right, and that's enough about who made it. Oh, we're going to talk about, I like to get out of the way. 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.3 on IMDb, 67% on Metacritic, and then you'll get our rating after we talk about the story. Who's ready to do it?
Let's do it.
It's story time.
A shout out to Sammy Z in the Twitch chat.
Yes. Was he telling us how many times he fell asleep during the movie?
Sam Z's in the chat?
He's in the chat.
Sam Z?
He's, whoa, guys, I thought what we had was special.
I know. I saw his. I didn't even respond. He responded to a tweet or an Instagram post. He's like, "What about me?" And I was like, "We were just on."
Yeah. The next time.
He's all right. You know what that means? That's a testament. That means he had a good time.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
What's up, Sam? Good to hear from you. Thanks for checking in. Feel free to give us a call. Maybe we'll answer it. Tell us. I mean, has he seen Black Panther?
Come on.
That's the ultimate question.
Stay awake through.
I invited him to come on Saturday, but he was
wake up, Sam.
He was hunting deer instead. So
Okay.
All right. Well,
he was sleeping.
Well, you guys want to hear a story?
Yes.
A story about Wakanda, and we're gonna drop right in, just like the movie does, because it's heavy, it's hard, but it's like a Band-Aid. And let's go.
Grip it.
Cold open. T'Challa is dying. It's going down. Heart monitors are happening. You're in Wakanda. Shuri is trying to save him. How? By making the purple flower.
Heart-shaped herb.
The heart-shaped herb synthetically. Why? Because Killmonger burned it all.
Burned it all.
In the first movie. He's like, I'm Black Panther. I eat the one. I'm going to burn the rest. Idiot.
Yeah.
And because of this, she's like, okay, maybe this is what can save him. We don't know what's wrong with him.
We don't know, like, when we left him,
We don't see him.
he had the power.
He had the power.
What happened? We don't know.
No story. Just
We don't get any kind of backstory.
He's in on an
You know,
operating
he
table.
lost his power.
There's
or
doctors.
something happened. He got attacked. We don't know. He's being killed by some disease, and they mention kind of suffered in silence. Didn't come to Shuri soon enough to address.
They even say a mystery disease.
Mystery
Like,
disease.
we just don't. No one knows.
Kind of bringing the real life into the movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fair.
Carrie said it. You know, this is early on, right? But she said it really well. Is sometimes Black Panther gets sick.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes
superheroes
sometimes just get sick and die, and like there's nothing to be done, and you're bringing your heads together and you're trying to happen, and like that was such a real world moment. And you know, this is where we get the Queen and Shuri just doing. These two are going to show up for you the whole movie. They're going to carry a lot of this movie.
Oh yeah.
And T'Challa, your king, has died. Just like that.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, right away. You talk about what am I expecting when I sit down? I don't know. It wasn't that.
Right.
Like, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. I've seen stuff online where people are asking like, "Oh, maybe it was this, maybe it was that." And there's a part of me that just wants it to be what it was. Like, I don't need an explanation.
You don't need an answer.
Sometimes,
we don't have to say, "Oh, you know, Ulysses Claw's ghost came to life and killed him."
Or
You
like,
know,
and I
let's-
don't want it to be that like, "Oh, well, the plant makes you sick, so then sure
Right.
he's gonna get sick." Like, I think because of what happened in the real world, I thought they handled it well in that way that it's like there isn't this explanation.
There's
it
no
just
answer.
Happens. Sometimes good people get sick and die.
Yeah.
And I think leaving it that way would be the right way.
Yeah, and obviously to me, like, the family that tried to help him, they know what they needed to know to try to help him. To us as the fan, I'm looking at myself as just like another person where, like, it's none of my business. You know, it's like the same as whenever we were talking earlier about, unfortunately, like other celebrities that have passed, where it's like you're naturally curious about why someone passes, but like that's just an itch that you're trying to scratch selfishly, you know. So the more that you kind of worry about that, the more you can start to say like, I'm gonna step back away from that, and it didn't matter. It's like they ripped it off. I'm gonna move along too. What do? Time jump, 1 year.
We get
right.
We get the Marvel Studios.
Oh,
complete
let's talk about
silence. No music.
I'm already like,
all of the scenes of Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa. Cut together. No one else.
No music. Just
No
completely
music.
silent.
Beautiful smile.
Yeah.
Just him. Only him. No one else.
Great moment of silence tribute.
Yes.
Yep.
So, year goes by. Where are we? Okay. Queen. Ramonda. She's in charge. All right? She's at the UN. And a couple things. These countries, everybody else has moved on immediately, right? Obviously. No one cares.
Right.
What do we want? You told us at the end of Captain America Civil War, your King T'Challa told us you were opening yourself up to the world and you were going to help us out. You haven't given us any of that vibranium. We want it for healthcare, for technology.
Right.
And when are you going to fork it over? And she says a couple things. One, we know what you guys, are thinking right now.
We know what you want.
We know that you want our vibranium. Oh, you think our Black Panther is dead and we don't have one, so now's the time to try to take it? Side flash over to a Wakanda fortress being
outreach center.
An outreach center getting hit by like a SWAT team of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
This is simultaneously while she's in the UN.
Yeah.
Come to find out, she's saying, we never needed the Black Panther. We got the Dora Milaje, we're Wakanda,
Right.
and we get to see them early in this movie, full effect. Dora Milaje fighting these troops, these guys, and actually bring them into the courtroom to where, like, apparently it was like France,
Yeah.
France had like tried to steal vibranium from the Wakandas and got like their ass handed to them, right?
You said to put it on France, didn't you?
Well, they did.
That was gonna be my question. You guys were like, it was France, right? Like that's the way I took that. Like the way she looked
To me,
at him
yeah,
is like,
she-
I'm returning these to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got like the other guy, the he's like the doctor from The Good Doctor. He's in all sorts
Great
of stuff.
show.
He's such a great show. So they're getting the pressure from the outside, and she's like, no one's gonna take this stuff from us. Immediately, we get taken to a ship out in the ocean. This is now a U.S. ship that apparently is looking for something in the depths of the ocean. Oh, it's vibranium.
Yeah.
Because they've got something that's like helping them find it.
Yeah. We got a CIA and was it the
Navy SEALs.
Navy SEAls
Yep.
out in the middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere, they stumble upon it, and the drill bit is like destroyed. Right, it's gone into like there's this vibranium in the ocean. Well, not long after, machine goes down. We got 2 people down in these crazy high pressure suits, and it's like very much like Jaws feeling. Like, this is like the horror aspect of like what's in the ocean.
Yeah.
Can't really see anything. One gets snatched up, one gets the other. From the view up on the deck, it's just like they've both gone dark. All of a sudden, heads pop out of the water.
Yeah.
Soldiers see it from the side. Like, we got something happening here. And you just hear like this. These
A siren song.
these blue little things are sirens. They're singing sirens. And what happens? The people just walk right off the boat
Yeah.
into the water. Like, I'm stopping what I'm doing. I've heard this song. It's just like the siren you hear out of like TV shows, like
Yeah.
out of Little Mermaid or something.
Then you just drown yourself.
And you just drown yourself. You just jump in the water and die.
Oh my god.
And they take this ship down. They jump on. They climb the sides. They're really strong.
Spears to the chest.
Spears to the chest. They've got water covers on their face. Like the water's help. Like it's like a reverse, apparatus.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's water in it. It
Yeah.
would kill us. And there was like this chick like that was part of the CIA that I thought like maybe was going to be like a big character. The way they like introduced her getting
Yeah.
off the helicopter.
Lake Bell,
Yeah.
I do believe.
Yeah, who is that?
She's been in some.
She's been in some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen her before.
I definitely have seen her before.
Along with the Navy SEAL guy.
The Navy SEAL guy.
I've seen him before.
Well, they get in the helicopter.
Not seen him again.
The blue people are like
Wow.
pulling them down. It's like, okay, we're gonna pull the and then it's like, okay, the helicopter gets away. Oh wait, there's one more thing. Something's in the sky.
Yep.
A little
dark
silhouette
shadow.
and a little like.
Yep.
That's a nice sound effect.
Some,
Thanks.
some hummingbird or a female.
I would have
Pleasure
100. If I tried to
device.
do that, it would be a fart noise. 100%.
He was just like, okay, and it's like, what in the world happened? This CIA team just got taken down. Meanwhile, back in Wakanda, Shuri is still, it's coming up on the 1-year anniversary since T'Challa's died. And the mom, the queen, is really taking notice and saying, like, you're not processing. You haven't really processed that your brother's passed. You're burying yourself in your work. You're doing too much here, too much there. And I want to take you out to a part of the Wakanda where I forget like what she was initially going to show her, but she's like, I'm going to take you out to this like water area. We're just going to have like a mother-daughter moment. Oh, she wants her to burn her her funeral clothes.
Yeah.
And there's 2 things before we jump there. One
Please,
is
help me. And if
when
I'm skipping, jump back.
Yeah. So first off, after T'Challa died, there was a big funeral scene, which visually was amazing.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
There's
huge.
a
Come
mural
on.
of
Come on.
Chadwick Boseman. They're
skip to the-
processing.
You get the casket.
You
Yes.
get the casket. They're processing. They, their funeral rites is they take the casket up into the ship. You don't really. I don't think we see where it goes
Like
after
tractor beam.
Tractor
Yeah.
beam it up.
Has T'Challa's like the Black Panther doing this.
Get the
Wakanda
Black
forever.
Panther
To the
with
Hall of
Wakanda's
Kings.
Forever sign. Yep.
Yeah, like where does it go?
Yeah, well,
It
we
just
don't know.
flies off.
It's thanks to Emergency Awesome. I watched a breakdown and it said it in the comics it goes to like a Hall of Kings that we could probably potentially see potentially see this place
Something
again.
else. See it again. Nice. Good job. Good save. All right. What else?
And then when
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
so when we see the figure hovering, the helicopters take off and it takes out one of the helicopters and then the other one gets away.
Yes.
So that's the only thing is that whatever was hovering, whatever human or human-esque looking figure is powerful. It can fly, and it took a helicopter out with no problem.
No problem at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Through it.
But it let one get away. Yeah.
Okay.
Tell the story.
No, that's it. And help me. Like I said, help me too if we forget anything. Like I can get moved. Sometimes I like to.
So then we jump.
Then we jump to now, basically, whenever Shuri and her mom are hanging out in Wakanda, a creature approaches them as they're having this talk, and it's like
Just walking out.
just walking out of the water, comes up, has pointed ears, not blue, badass like suit on, and feathers on his ankles.
Yeah.
Like wings.
Little chicken wings.
I was surprised they went with that version.
Oh.
I was very, very happy.
I was very surprised.
All right, so let's just say it. Debut of
Namor. Or Namor. They
He-
said both in the movie.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
He
but-
calls himself Namor. He's got
yeah,
like an accent.
He's got the accent.
And this is him. The guy's on screen.
Yeah.
Marvel's
Here he is.
Marvel's Aquaman, which I'm sure they hate that, but like, man, it's like, here we go. The water city, the water guy. This is him. He's here. This is him on screen.
Most of him, if you've heard the reports.
Oh, right. Something happened. I'm going to get into it. It was something about his bulge?
Yeah.
Yes.
What happened with his
Can't
bulge?
believe
it
they
was
did that. Let the
digitally
man's
reduced.
bulge be.
It was too, what'd they do? Did
It was
they
too
make-
bulgy.
shrunk
Oh,
it
they made
down.
it smaller? I bet he's really upset. Come
Let
on.
the man's
I mean,
bulge be.
that's
Well, what's
that's
more
gotta be a
offensive?
boost to the ego.
Well, it
Yeah.
depends. Like, right? If was it him to begin with, or did he ask to be that endowed? Like, I don't know.
He was just really excited to be
All right.
Namor.
Well, he breaks it down, right? They're like, "How did you get in here? This is Wakanda.
Yeah.
Like, we all know Wakanda. Like, you got to know the coordinates to fly into trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, this is the only way
Right.
to get in there. Well, this guy apparently like
He doesn't need trees.
yeah, where I'm going. I don't need trees. I can swim. Apparently, they said the closest point of entry he could have come in was like 100 kilometers or something. So, like, you're telling me this guy swam here?
Oh yeah.
Well, let's just talk about, like, kind of in general what's happening now. Like, no one knows who these people are.
Yeah. They just
Like, the CIA is like,
never
we just
existed.
got attacked by
Off the radar.
by blue people. The Queen is like, who are you? Like, I've never heard
Yeah.
of this. I don't know you guys. And who are his people? He's like, I'm Namor. What are his people called? Do you guys know? What's the town?
Talukans.
Yes,
They're
Telecon.
from Talukan.
Talukan.
So yeah, I guess you would just call them Talukans.
Yes, and that's he's like, hey, listen, that's where I'm from. We have an underwater city. He's like, we're 1,000 times bigger
Yeah.
than you. We have so many more people than you realize. You could never beat us. He even tells me, like, we have elevated strength. We can do all sorts of things. Like, and
we have vibranium.
and this is the real kicker. This is like what is gonna mind F.
Yeah.
Wakanda is like
you thought you were the only ones who had
Yeah.
vibranium, and sure, he even says he's covered in it.
he's covered in it right now, Mom.
Like he's all over his huge necklace
Yes.
and his garb, his nose ring, his earrings, everything.
So he's here. He's not messing around. He says, listen, this is what's messing us up.
Yeah.
The world wants your vibranium because you made the decision to be like,
To tell them
we're
about
going to
it.
tell you about this.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they want it.
Now they're looking for it.
Now they're looking for it. Not only that,
They found it.
some scientists, they just found it. Some scientists created a machine that can find this stuff.
Yep.
I want to find that scientist, and I want to kill the scientist.
Yeah.
Because
Bring the scientist to me,
unless
and I'll take care of it.
I'll take care of it.
Or else.
Or else. And like he kind of says, like, they'll come after you.
Right.
Like they'll come after you. They'll come after
I will
me,
come after you.
And you don't want me to come after
Yeah.
you. He's got, he can fly. He can really fly too. I
Yeah.
mean, get ready. Okay, so Shuri and
Okoye.
Okoye. I mean, Michonne.
Yeah, Michonne. Walking
yeah.
Dead.
They're like, hey, listen, we're gonna go get this scientist. It turns out they're in the U.S. They'll put-
MIT.
MIT. We got to go there. This is where we get Martin Freeman, Everett Ross. They're like, before we go and get the scientist,
We
let's
got to
talk
figure
him.
out who the scientist is.
We need a lead.
Yeah.
Let's call our one person in the U.S. government our friend, and he like begrudgingly gives him
Gives
some
him
info.
some info.
Favorite colonizer.
My favorite colonizer. And I feel like it's not long after that we get another big character in this movie. I mean, I say big character, just like really a new character. That's like,
We've
when
only
they gonna be
seen
her
glimpses of. I mean, we still got a while before we get there.
Okay, I won't even say it yet. Then. Okay, so he gives him the lead. They go to MIT, and they find the scientist who happens to be a student. Her name is
Riri Williams.
Riri Williams, a.k.a.
Ironheart.
Here we go. Super genius. Literally just a kid going to school.
19 years old.
19 years old. She's scrapping. She's doing other kids' homework for money. She's, super bright. And we find out very quickly, like, yeah, I did make that thing. I did it for a class project. It only took me 3 months.
Yeah.
So super smart.
She's the MacGuffin of the movie.
Who's MacGuffin?
The MacGuffin is the thing or item that the story revolves
Yeah,
around. So
moves the plot along.
Infinity Stones,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Tesseract.
At least the Infinity.
There's always a MacGuffin.
Well, at least with Infinity Stones, it was like, teased for years.
Yeah.
This is just kind of like, okay, here is this character. All right, now it's these three. They go back to her shop. They're like, you're going to come with us. And while they're like kind of getting their stuff together to get out of there, the FBI kind of gets on their trail.
Yeah.
And it forces them to go on the run. And there's a big car crash, actually. Shuri ends up on a bridge on the ground. They Okoye end up being kind of okay. And in the middle of all this chaos, who shows up but the Telecons?
Yeah, we get a grappling hook like over the bridge.
Did I say that right? Telecons?
Talukans.
Talukans. Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you say? We got a what?
We get a grappling hook that comes over the bridge.
Yeah.
Starts pulling Riri Williams off the bridge. We get a Koye.
Well, and Riri's suited up. So
Suited up, yeah. Iron Man.
So this is
like
that's
Iron
the
Man
moment.
version 1
Yeah.
suited up, was flying around.
Got in the suit, the
Yep.
junker looking kind of suit, but like
Yep.
not too bad. Flies out of the building. I mean,
Yep.
like a tiny little hole in the ceiling,
Yeah.
I thought about Iron Man too. I thought about Iron Man
It's
as well.
a very Hulkbuster looking,
Yeah,
kind
very
of,
very
yeah.
like primitive
clunky,
suit.
like
Yep.
Tony Stark straight out of the cave.
And
Yes.
part of me
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
that's the one I was
wow,
talking
that
about.
doesn't look safe. I would feel very
Yeah.
scared
Oh yeah,
to be
bugs
flying
in the
that thing
face.
around.
Everything's open.
She's like, I can really fly, and I was like, this is your first time. This would be so terrifying.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, she jokes that there've been all these spottings.
There's a
of her.
YouTube page devoted
there's a
to
YouTube-
sightings.
Yep.
Of
Which is
her.
funny because there is a YouTube page in California devoted to, which I know MIT's not there, but there's a YouTube page of like a fake Iron Man, like somebody's got a jetpack apparently in California. That's immediately what I thought when they were
Well,
referencing that.
and in Captain America: Civil War, that's how he discovers Spider-Man is just like
Mhm.
online videos. He's like, that's you, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so we got Ironheart here. That's cool, and essentially, Namor's people, the Telecons, take Shuri and Ironheart back to Telecon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huge battle with Okoye and Atuma.
Oh man, this is great.
Yeah.
Right? This is like human versus like superhuman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Like
Namor.
peak human.
Here's something that Namor said too. He said, "I have a mutation. I'm a mutant."
Yeah.
Like he just says
Just straight out.
straight
Yeah.
out. Like I'm a mutant, and we get the little origin story. That might be later too. I can't wait.
Yeah,
That's
It's a
later
little
when
later.
We'll talk about that too.
Shuri is
So yeah, because he takes Shuri back to the place, and he's basically gonna be like, man, yeah, like I don't want to skip over that fight scene too much.
She
'Cause
demands that she be taken back to Namor.
Yes. Yes. And he gets her back there. He's got both of them hostage. And the idea is like, I think he's kind of playing collateral game a little bit, but
Mhm.
he's also trying to, woo her a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, look, this is how much we have in common.
Right.
And this is where we get to see Telecon for the first time.
Like we can be allies.
I mean, how about this city?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the
Amazing.
underwater
Like
stuff?
a
Let's talk about
vibranium city.
Giggler. What did you think of Namor on screen in the underwater city when you get going down there?
It was beautiful. That's any underwater movie. I'm always skeptical of what that's going to look like immediately, but I think it looked, as realistic as you could get. I was really intrigued by like the portals that they were like going through to get there. Like,
well, they were. I think it was like almost like the real ocean, like the channels.
like a
Yeah.
riptide.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching Finding Nemo on the back of that turtle.
right. That looked fun. I want to get down there and swim around, but not if any one of those suits first.
Yeah, she's like, I want to see your city, and he's like, the pressure would crush your bones and you would die so
Instantly.
instantly. And he's like, or
All
you
right,
can wear
or
a
you
suit.
could just wear this suit. We stole it from some guys.
Yeah.
They're dead now.
Yeah, we killed the Americans earlier. You
Yeah.
want to wear their suit?
Yeah, you might want to wipe the blood off the inside of the visor.
You know, he says, like, we could be colleagues in this. And he's like, I heard you talking to your mom, because whenever they were talking on, like, the beach back in Wakanda, she was saying, when I think about T'Challa dying too much, I just want to see the world burn.
Burn it all.
essentially.
Yeah.
That was connect.
And
the
it's
dots.
real.
Connect the dots. Some
Yep.
people
That's
just wanna
a
watch the
real
world burn.
feeling.
Yeah, it is. This is
You
like
know, when you lose someone, you know, of the different ways people deal with it. Yeah.
processing grief and like trying to figure out how you're going to do it and knowing that you got to face it at some point, but she's still teetering on this, like, I'm not ready to face it yet. And that's what he's, like, leveraging, essentially, trying to get, like, listen, we got to team up with Wakanda. We got to kill the scientist, which, like, he has her in custody, and he's, like,
Right.
only not killing her just to, like, appease Shuri for a
Yeah.
little bit. And then while this is going on, Queen Ramonda, she makes a call. And she's like, I'm going to go down to Haiti. And who's waiting in Haiti? But T'Challa's former lover,
Nakia.
And apparently, this girl, she said it. She's like, when T'Challa died, the funeral was coming up. I had to leave.
Yep,
I made the
had
call.
to check out.
I had to check out, and I had to deal with it myself. And how did she do that? She went to Haiti and, like, started working with, like, a mission group. But if you guys remember from the first movie, she was part of, like, an elite group of, like, Wakanda spies.
Yeah.
And so the queen is like, listen, I want you to find this city and bring my daughter back. I'm not going to lose any more kids. And, I mean, this is where we get the big.
The real gravitas.
This is before she goes to Haiti.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's with the council.
Oh, yeah. And
She's firing Okoye.
And she's firing Okoye and saying, you failed me.
I told you I didn't want my daughter to go with you.
You said
you
would
assured
protect her.
me that she would be fine, and you screwed up.
And
I've lost everyone I love.
And of course, yeah. And haven't I lost enough?
That was. There were so many times in this movie that I just had to, like, stop and just think about how good the acting is.
Oh my gosh, I know. All right, so
Meanwhile, we've got a crime scene on the bridge.
Help us out, yeah.
Yeah,
this is it, yeah.
Yeah, we got the crime scene on the bridge. Agent Ross shows up. He's looking around. He finds Shuri's bracelet, slips it in his pocket, and who shows up?
Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. That's for us.
Wow.
There's no card. There's no card.
We find out she is the new director of the CIA.
Literally, like, in charge of the CIA. And is calling the shots, telling them to give her the evidence, what's going down.
Yeah.
And not only that,
she has an ex-husband.
And it's him.
Yeah. Used to be married.
And they have this whole relationship where, like, all right, we work together. We're both in the government. We used to be married, but whatever.
Yeah.
He finds on the bridge some Wakanda beads.
Shuri's bracelet.
Which, if you remember, they do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
They can heal. They can communicate. He puts them in her pocket, and, like, this is how he's going to communicate with them on an ongoing basis, trading notes, essentially. All right, then what?
We get, she's ready to go back to Langley. Hey, you got a full tank of gas? I need a ride back to Langley.
It's 8 hours.
That's 8 hours.
It'll give us a time to catch up or something like that.
Jump on your Peloton. Something about a home gym.
Yeah. I thought they said catch up about the kids or something too at one point.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe, but she did say I want to jump on your Peloton.
She did.
I mean, which is like as close to like a sex joke in an MCU film that you're ever gonna get.
Probably.
You know? If you want that, go to She-Hulk.
This is all the parts that, like, every time it was the two of them, I know what they're doing with her for future stuff, but, like,
I don't feel like I needed.
You could have cut it
this.
all out. Yeah,
I know.
I wanted to. I'm fine with her being there, but I wanted a little more mystery to that character.
Yeah, and I guess they gave it a little bit because she's definitely, like, behind the scenes. Like, he's kind of doing it. She's monitoring him, and then it's just kind of like, all right.
It's a little too Elaine for me.
Yeah.
Super Elaine for sure. but I'm glad she's there.
Yeah.
I
She's a
know.
joy.
I think we know
Right.
what her end game is now from how this movie goes. So
Do we know?
I think so.
I don't know. I'm still putting it together,
I'll
but
say
I feel like
I'll-
is
I'll
it going?
say it-
Go
I'll
ahead.
say it when we get there.
Okay, we're not there yet.
No.
Okay, so Namor goes back to the Queen. All right, so she's
she's she sends Nakia on the
Yep,
mission.
That's right.
There's
And Nakia goes on this like
a little quest.
a
She's got
quest.
her glasses on,
She's literally asking like natives in the town, like
looking for clues.
I've heard of this legend.
Yeah.
If I thought of Batman, looking for Aquaman,
Right.
Just
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Man.
It's like I heard about a man in the water.
Chicken wing feet.
Yeah.
You can't miss him.
Right.
And she's got her on this mission, but Namor comes to her and says like, if you pull anything like this, that's gonna be it.
Well, she's hey, I got a read on her bead, her earrings,
Yes.
and she's in a cavern somewhere, and Queen Ramonda is like, oh well, I got this shell. I'm gonna distract him.
I'm gonna bring him here.
I'll bring him here.
Well,
You go in.
before she does it, though, he gives his origin story. Right?
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I was
Yes,
I was
yeah.
trying to picture
Yeah.
where that came, and it was
Yeah.
right. This
Yeah.
is where he like lays it out.
Yeah,
given
when they're in the
the-
cave,
the
she takes him
tour-
into the hut.
All right, who feels they know this best? All right,
You guys saw
back
it
in
more recently.
1600.
1571.
Thank you. Me always rounding, always rounding.
I remember 1571. It was a good year.
Yeah. There was a people of
They were Mayan people,
Mayans.
and they were being, I guess you could say, colonized
They're being colonized,
by the British.
probably by the British, right?
Somewhere Spain.
Probably the damn
Spain.
French
Spanish,
again.
yeah.
Okay, some
Spanish conquistadors is
Yeah.
probably
Some
who we're looking at.
some of them colonizers.
They're invading, and they brought smallpox.
They brought smallpox. People were getting sick.
So the natives were getting sick.
Yes.
They were dying.
This lady's pregnant.
This lady's pregnant, and they find
This is where I get hairy. This is where it gets hairy.
they
for me.
find plants
Okay.
growing in the ocean
Near
near
vibranium.
vibranium.
Okay.
So
And it's like blue.
it's like
It's-
blue
Instead of purple, it's
yeah,
blue.
Exactly.
because it's in the water.
Yeah. And it's not like vibranium, it's like near vibranium.
It's
Yeah.
from the rocks.
yeah.
So
Come on.
underwater
It
plants.
works. This works,
Yeah.
by the way.
I think it works just fine.
It works really well. This was
the-
one of the most powerful sequences, I thought.
I think so. And the guy, their like lead guy, the priest or whatever,
Yeah.
has some sort of vision, and he brings the plant out, and he's pasting it up with the mortar and the pestle and
Yeah.
making the little drink, and starts making everybody drink it.
We're all going to do drinks.
And,
And they know, like, this is going to change us.
She was apprehensive,
I'm not going to do it
because she
I'm
has the
pregnant.
baby.
Yeah. But
but
Like he's gonna be our king.
yeah,
He'll
he's
be
like,
the first.
okay,
Which
well,
is
firstborn
an
in our-
odd deal. Like,
right, like
That was the only thing. I'm like, wait. So if you like drink the thing that's going to keep you alive, your son gets to be king. That's how they decide their ruler.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Like-
also
I went with it. I went.
But also,
But-
like, I also think about like those times and being like, he's like, he might only know part of the story, and like, it's like this is how it moved really quickly, but it was kind of, I that's where I got hairy for sure. It was
Yeah.
like, all right, so now you're gonna drink this stuff, you're gonna feel better. They turn actively blue.
blue,
Yep.
and start dying
They're like,
right away. Can't breathe.
Like when you wake
I don't
up
know
super
how they-
hungover and you need water immediately.
I don't know how they
That's me
thought
every
like,
Sunday.
oh, maybe if I just go into the water, I won't die. But
Right.
but that's
But
what
they did.
happened.
and this is it. We're
And-
going into the water, and we live in the water now.
Yeah,
Follow me.
like immediately. Oh, I feel great. I'm in the water. We give birth in the water to Namor.
Yep.
Baby wing feet.
Yeah,
You see his little.
little
little
tiny
ba-
chicken wings,
baby,
Mm.
baby wings.
Mm. little barbecue sauce.
little sea salt.
It's like crab legs, but
Oh my god.
different.
Crab wings.
Crab wings.
Yeah.
My dumb brain, all I could think about during this
the-
is like the real life things of like living in water, like not living in water, and
It's-
then like being in water.
I find
and
the
being-
ocean very terrifying.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, so this was
There
I
were
could-
some scenes in here where I was like, I don't know.
like Yeah, and like when they're going like down deep,
Yeah.
I get to hear Carrie just going like.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's his backstory. All right, so
His backstory.
let's describe.
But then as a toddler, he comes on shore.
His mother dies.
Well, let's describe like
Okay.
what we learn about him. Right,
Wanted,
he's
wanted
not,
to be buried on the surface
okay,
where
right.
she was from.
And he can go up there.
He can go up there. He
He's-
can still breathe.
He's got the wing feet. No one else has that. He's not blue.
He's not blue.
He's kind of like normal skin colored, of
Yeah.
a human
Yeah.
skin
Yeah.
colored, I should say.
Yeah.
And he's got pointed ears.
Yep.
And he can fly, and he's got super strength, and he can like breathe. He's like he's like Blade.
Yeah.
Kind of can do it all.
Fishblade.
Fish Blade, which they got a director. Blade
Yeah.
got a director.
Yep.
All right. This is where it all goes down. The spy, T'Challa's. Oh, go ahead.
So he comes up to bury his mother and
Oh.
sees I guess they're still the
Conquistadors.
conquistadors enslaving
Oh,
the
Has
local
this is
enslaved
people.
the local people. He's killing everyone.
Yeah, so then he turns around, they murder everybody. They got the little water mass at that point.
Yeah.
And that's where he realizes like his people, if they come up would also be like enslaved by these people. He sees like these, more, I don't know what you want to call them, but these colonizers, if you will, as like an earth dweller or land dwellers are
Surface
inevitably
world.
gonna
Surface
like
dweller.
enslave people they don't understand or however you want to interpret that.
We have things that they would want.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
so-
they would come and they would destroy our land and enslave our people
Yep.
as well.
It's all he's ever known.
Yeah.
Right.
And he becomes a murderer at like the age of 8.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you see him like as a kid, like
Yeah.
rise up into the air.
Then
Yeah.
Then he's Namor. No, the boy with no love.
Yeah.
The boy with no love. Man, this actor,
Tenoch Huerta.
yeah, he's great.
I like him.
The kid too.
Yeah.
No problem
I
with this
thought they
kid.
should have done.
No problem with this
Perfect
one. Yeah,
amount of
he's
time
he's
and lines.
and he's a killer.
I thought they should have just hired Logan Dominic cosplay.
Oh man, they
He
should.
looked like a little, like a clone of that.
And
that dude.
And we already know he can rock costumes. He'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
he'd be great in
Oh,
the
yeah.
MCU. That's a
He-
real
he had-
shout out right
He
there.
had a good Namor. For
Logan
sure.
Dominic, Logan Winter, Dominic cosplay, cosplay. Go find him.
Former Logan's hero.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, still Logan. Always a Logan's hero.
You're right.
All right. Origin story wraps up, and Namor goes back, but by this time, Shuri's already been taken out, rescued by Nakia.
She goes down there.
She like goes down there and
Wreck shop.
I mean one person job.
Yeah.
That little Wakanda like boat thing she rides down there. I was
Yeah.
like, man, that's cool.
That was
Yeah.
dope.
Personal submersible.
She did find him pretty quickly.
yeah.
she
Very quickly.
just immediately.
She's a pro.
Like it's kind of like if you were looking for Wakanda, I didn't know where to look,
You
Yeah.
might want to hire someone like
But
her.
because you got because of the
The
beads,
tracker bead.
They had the
in
tracker
in
beads.
in the earrings.
So he gets her out. They all get reunited, and
They
they're-
kill.
they go back to
They
Wakanda,
kill a
right?
Talakan
Yep.
person.
Oh, and Shuri's like, this is
That
going
was-
to be the end
yeah.
of it.
Namor's daughter, I think.
Was
I
it?
thought
it
I thought it was
was.
just
No.
a random
I don't think so.
I
No.
thought
Talokian
I thought she was
citizen.
Okay,
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad. I thought it was like.
Just because they're all blue?
I didn't
Oh,
think.
I don't know.
I didn't think he had a daughter.
No, there's no daughter. But
Nam-
there is a
Namora.
Namora.
Namora's his cousin.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
well,
know
I would have.
that. That
That
makes more sense.
makes
Yeah.
way more sense. Why would you marry? It'd be like me marrying somebody named Logina.
Do it. I mean, don't. Just
I mean-
kidding. I like.
I mean, you're marrying a
I like
Shanna.
Carrie.
Right.
That's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
They go back to Wakanda, right? After
yeah,
after the jailbreak,
Take him back to Wakanda.
reunited with the mom.
Yep.
Shuri, they have their big moment.
Namor
Yeah.
follows.
Doesn't last
Namor,
long.
brain.
last
It doesn't
long,
last
though.
long at all.
Yeah, everybody's having a good time.
Okay, this is
We're
all right.
reconnecting.
Okay, here we go. You know what
We
get?
got
Go ahead.
Nakia hanging out with Okoye. They're walking the streets.
They're back,
Yeah.
and we get a pissed off Namor,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where we get
Wet.
They're just walking. They're walking around, and all of a sudden, it's like watery
Well,
explosions.
hold on. Before you even do that,
Oh yeah.
you get them in Telecon, and he
Oh,
hovers
yeah.
down to his
That's
chair.
right. That was.
He's got his headdress on.
His headdress is on. This is what you got to get in the poster here.
Yeah, we're doing the
Oh yeah,
Talokan
Talokan
salute.
symbol. You know, it's like is it, you don't know if it's like this or like
Yeah.
this. You know, it's like
They're
who are these
chanting.
people?
Yeah.
You know? They're chanting. They're ready to go to war. Basically, just like this leader, he's been leading us for 400 something years.
450 years old.
Yeah, they pretty devout. These
Yeah.
guys are, and I mean, this is where I don't know who I was telling this to, but the underwater scene here. This is like the most unique underwater like shot I had seen in the movie, where they show Namor up close, and I'd never seen anything like it in an underwater like sequence before, where the back of his his headgear is like moving, like water.
Flowing.
He's kind of like floating in his chair just a little bit, but it looks like not underwater.
Yeah.
Like his skin looks like his like up close camera, like he's talking in the water and like speaking to his people, and I was like, holy cow, this is really good. This is what you want for like underwater living, because like it's such a hard thing to be able to do on screen, and like Aquaman, like it just I don't know,
Big budget. Nobody looked like they were holding their breath.
Yeah, and no one looked like they were just like
struggling to stay in the same place.
The only other thing I think we should interject, and you two might remember it better than me, but they initially debated handing over is it Riri?
Riri.
And M'Baku, if I recall, was the one who didn't want to do it. Like because we got
He
touch
doesn't
on
want to
his
start in it.
Yeah,
we
he's
got
gotta-
to start on his character arc a little bit.
Please,
'cause
let's talk
that's-
about M'Baku. Yeah,
because you can tell this is a different M'Baku than what we had in the past, who was very much like a big ruler,
Warlike.
very much like a warmonger, and he's advising caution early on because that's going to be important in a minute. And so you've seen a little bit of a change already.
Yeah,
that'll feed into the ending.
Yeah. Well, and it's like you can almost see this in M'Baku, like if you're following along, like in the MCU, like I mean, these folks have been through like so much in general.
Yeah,
like
he's seen a lot of war.
He's seen a lot of wars.
Yeah,
it's not like just a fun game anymore. It's like if we can prevent this, we need to prevent it.
Yeah,
you can feel that, and then there's more. Right? There's like we got unfortunately another funeral scene coming up. I think we should just get to it.
Yeah,
Wakanda's under attack. Water bombs,
floods the city.
M'Baku's watching with a couple guys, flooding the city.
He fights, gets his ass kicked.
He jumps. You know what he does that I thought was like the dumbest thing in the world? He jumps right into the water.
Yeah, it's like that's probably not the place to go with these
like,
water.
He's
people.
trying to save some
He
Wakandians.
also whacked Namor with a wooden stick.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's
Props
got
to him.
he's got a wooden stick. He's just
Props to him.
smoking
He
him in the
tried.
face. I was like, these
like he
Wakandans-
comes by and like the look in his eyes, he's like,
Dude's got
fish man.
massive balls.
Probably. He's a big
But
guy.
We would never know. We would never know because
Yeah.
they would probably digitally
Yeah,
Take him
out.
smaller.
Yeah, I think they did.
He saw the pre-edited bulge and's like, this guy's important.
Yeah.
I need to beat him up.
Yeah, right.
He's
This
clearly
guy,
the alpha.
this is who I got to go against. Okay, so Shuri and
Riri?
is it no? Because Riri is with the Queen.
the queen.
Yes, she's
And they're held up in
immediately somehow-
like the throne room. All right, it's just like they're
Okay.
kind of looking down. It's
Maybe it's Ao
and then I think it's
or Aneka.
It was Okoye and Naki, I think, that are
Oh yeah, they're walking the streets when they
talking on the
start to
streets.
see
right.
the water kind
when
of
the water
come
rise,
up.
and she goes, "Wakanda's under."
We are under
and it's like it gets cut off.
Boom.
Yeah, Shuri's with someone else, and she's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's with
She
Annika.
with the
Yeah,
spy?
yeah, because they get in the plane or whatever, the ship.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they start
Yeah.
just firing at him.
they're in the ship, they're watching it all, and then Namor, I mean, he finds the Queen right away, flies right up to the castle. They're looking at each other eye to eye, like, you know what you did. We're here to tear this place up because of it. And she says, Riri, just run. And this is where we get the water bombs to the glass, bust through the window, and the Queen is dead.
Yeah.
Well, she
we
saves.
see Riri
Oh,
floating
before
to the
she her
bottom.
moment.
Yeah.
She could have saved herself.
She could have just gone up, taken a breath, and been fine. But she's like, if I just keep
I
diving
gotta
a little deeper,
save
I
this
can save
one.
this kid,
Yeah.
Riri Williams. So this is gonna be like her gift. To, like, before I die, I'll make an ultimate sacrifice here to save this child.
Yep.
And she does. And Shuri comes in, and this is the big reckoning. Another funeral.
Yeah.
Namor says, like, if you guys don't figure this out, you don't give us the kid, we will come back tomorrow.
Yeah, you have a week.
7 weeks. Yeah, 7 days.
Wait, what a timeline.
Bury your dead.
Bury
mourn
your
your
dead,
losses.
Mourn your losses.
And then
you see how ruthless
I'll be back.
Namor is in this fight, because early on when the Queen dispatches all like the rescue people, they pop up, sing the song, and like literally all the rescue people are just committing suicide.
Like
It's like,
lemmings
oh,
off
so
a
he's not
cliff.
even like, letting them like rescue the, non-warriors, if you will. It's like, nah, you don't even get to save them. I'm just going to kill the people that are going to try and save them.
The Dora Milaje are running out, putting like earplugs in. And this is where you get to really see him in action.
Yeah.
Like him flying, zipping around.
Zipping around. He punches M'Baku in the chest, breaks his chest plate, takes him out of the fight immediately.
There were a couple times where I was like, either Wakandans are indestructible or like these guys are not that strong.
Right.
It's
they're
like
just peak people.
they're like they're just a little elevated.
Yeah.
But like Namor though, punching
Hulk level strength.
Hulk level strength. I was
Yeah.
like, if the Hulk punches you like that, I don't care what you're wearing.
Oh yeah, but fist through the chest.
Yeah, just
for sure.
Just bone and blood.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that MCU.
Yeah.
Someday.
That's when Wolverine comes back.
Yeah, I think.
Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
See it in 3 or 4 years.
All right, so we get another morning sequence. We get the Queen's funeral, and we get M'Baku with a heart-to-heart with Shuri.
Yeah.
And
He's
this
playing
is
the advisor.
The new big bro.
For sure.
Yep.
This is it, yeah, the guiding light of like, hey, where are you sitting right now? Like, how are you feeling? And she's like very much going more toward dark side a little bit, and he's getting kind of stressed about it.
Yeah, he's like, we got to go to the mountains. We get our people
Yeah,
safe
we can take
away from
everybody
this.
to our part of the
And that's
mountain.
what they do. Like the elders gather up all the tribes. We'll go hide in the mountain. Shuri,
We got a plan.
Okoye, and Riri, and Aneka.
Yeah.
And then they pull in Io too, I think, toward the
Yeah.
end. Like, you want to fight again?
I think Io is the one who took over the Dora Milaje.
Yep.
And Aneka had, I guess, quit because she was kind of like in her own little hut, like had kind of given up. And then Okoye went to her.
I was like, come on.
Hey, you want to get back in this fight?
And the fight is, okay, Shuri is back to the game of, listen, it's time to make the purple flower.
The heart-shaped herb.
The heart-shaped herb.
We get the whole montage. Riri's,
'cause she got
making
that
some
necklace.
armor.
I'm going to make something.
She got the bracelet from Namor.
Yep.
That was made with fibers from the plant
that
grew on the vibranium.
Yes.
In the water.
And
in Talokan.
Yes. And before, you only made it to like 30%.
Yeah, like
now
30%.
You're at
effective.
98%. 99.
Now she had something to go on, to analyze. She plugs it in.
And there's no.
She's got the balls.
And it's
on
just
the DNA sequence.
DNA.
Green.
We're good.
We're good.
Print it. How do you know if it works? It glows. It's just us four here.
Boom.
Decision process making is over. Like, I'm going to drink this. Here we go. And she's like, do you want us to bury you? And she's like, no, I need to be on the table in case I go into cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
And you got to give me CPR. Because, like, we're testing something here.
Yeah.
And she drinks it. I mean, this is crazy. This is just like.
Oh, man. So many thoughts going into the scene.
I know, same. And right away.
Like, who are we going to see?
Exactly.
We were like, okay, here
and
we
I was
go.
like, oh, I mean, as she's drinking it, I'm going like, are we going to see T'Challa? Are we going to see, we're going to see her mom. We're going to see her
like
mom.
Ramonda, for sure.
Puts her in the throne
They're
room.
not going to digitally create T'Challa here.
No, it's not that kind of moment.
She wakes up underwater, and you're like, is this because they used this plant instead of the heart-shaped herb?
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to see some sort of Namor descendant. And then you realize, okay, she's in the throne room that was underwater.
Yep.
She rises out of the broken glass.
Rounds the throne.
Behind the throne, you start to come around.
She's like, Mom?
And then you see it. And I was like, man.
They got him.
They got him.
Killmonger.
Didn't expect this at all.
I didn't either.
N'Jaka.
Yes.
Eric,
I was helping
Eric
with the name.
Killmonger.
Eric Killmonger. What's his name?
N'Jaka.
Oh, wow.
N'Jaka.
And apparently, this is where we learn a lot about the afterlife.
It has to do with like personal, like your state of mind.
Same
Like-
as Moon Knight.
Yeah,
It's like you
an
got to wait, you got to
ancestral
balance
plane.
your scales
right.
and face your recent demons before you can like find that personal growth. And like this was like a barrier for her to where like he's like, why do you think you're seeing me? He's like, you're thinking about burning it all down too.
Yeah.
He's like, you've been scorned. You've seen how the real world is.
Yep.
What are you
Yeah.
gonna do?
Are you gonna be me
Yeah.
or your brother?
Yeah.
That's it. These two brothers almost, a cousin, really. Cousin.
Yeah. Great.
Place goes up in flames. She comes back. She's like, it didn't work.
Yeah, I didn't see who I was supposed to see.
It's not ever gonna work. And punches
a Dora Milaje mannequin.
Well, yeah, maybe yes. And it flies across the room.
Yeah. Boom into the side of the mountain.
All right, what do you guys think of this sequence?
I thought it was great.
I mean,
Perfectly
oh my gosh.
done.
This is
That was
insane.
good.
As soon as this scene hit, I was like, we're in for a ride.
This
The
is
rest of
it.
This.
We get the suit up. Always
And-
a good moment in a superhero origin
Yep.
story.
Go get the suit,
And I mean,
put it on, down from the jet,
Oh,
Yeah, over the mountain.
over
Great-
the mountain.
We
great
got the
superhero
elders and M'Baku all talking about what do we do? What are we gonna do? And then the plane comes in overhead, and you see the little tractor beam thing open, and you get the
that music
the,
was dope.
the drop and the flip and the superhero landing.
The suit,
Yeah,
and she's in it. Shuri's
in
in
it.
Black Panther. The Black
Looks
Panther is
awesome.
back. Everybody's pumped. The
very
tribes are like
emotional
emotional
moment.
moment of
Yeah.
like this is
Like our
it.
symbol is back.
I just got chills again.
Yeah,
Oof. And it's game plan time. We got to
forgot
work together.
We forgot
Yep.
to touch one quick thing.
Go ahead.
before
Take it
this.
back. Take it back.
Back to Ross and his ex-wife. She
Oh, yeah.
busts him at one point and turns him in for she was in on the beads the whole time.
yeah.
Planned it to
Love
them.
the beat.
She goes,
Heard
I've been
all-
listening to every
heard
phone
all
call
the
you've had.
conversations,
Yeah.
but basically she said one part in the scene that really he basically said that, oh, you're not going to stop till U.S. has all the Wakanda, and she's like, you're right, that'd be the perfect world if we had all of it. So I think
Yeah,
She's like, I
I
dream
think
about
a
that
lot
at
of-
night. I literally dream about that at night.
right,
and
right.
your Peloton.
So we're so I think that was my just thought that that's going to be her main objective. I could see that.
It's just
All-
power.
All the
It's
next
just
few
power.
movies that she's in will be surrounding vibranium. That could be the next Captain America, Thunderbolts. Who knows? This could be pretty big, I guess. Like vibranium's important.
Vibranium. People love vibranium.
I like to get
It
my
can, like-
hands on some of that.
It can do all sorts of things.
Yeah, weird.
Turn you into Black Panther and like power your
All right.
jet.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out. But back to
No, that's a
Yeah.
big part. That's a real big part because she sends him straight to jail.
back to the superhero landing.
Well, they get on board. They're like, let's make a plan. I mean, this is leading into the final act.
yeah.
Here.
Yep.
M'Baku is still adamant about not going to war.
Yeah.
He's like, we don't need to do this. And she's like, let me have the room with
Yeah.
him. And she's like, you're not. She goes nasty with it. She's
Mhm.
like, you're not going to take this from me. I'm going for this, and we're all going.
Yep.
So
Yep.
basically,
Here-
strap in.
Here's the plan.
Here's the plan.
Here's the
You know.
plan. We're going to go to where they're strongest
in the middle of the ocean.
in the middle of the ocean and fight them.
and what was how'd they do it? How'd they call him to the top? They just
Well,
they made another
build a track.
machine.
they build another vibranium tracker,
yeah,
and it draws them all in.
And
Yeah.
their plan is to trap him because they have the aha moment of, hey, if we can get him in a room where we take out the moisture, we think it'll weaken him.
Yeah,
So we're going to build the room in this one jet.
we're gonna
try
hotbox
and-
him.
Yeah, we're going to try and
Yeah.
hotbox him into this jet, and then I'm going to whoop his ass in the desert.
Oh, and
Meanwhile, you all
Yeah.
fight these people in the water.
yeah,
Yeah,
and to
in
get him
the
out of the water,
water.
we have a sonic cannon that's like it's too loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, get out of the water, get out of the water, and like they fly up. And I mean, essentially the plan like really works, except for like everybody fighting.
Yeah.
You know, but
we get Ironheart in her new suit.
in her new suit.
We get the
What'd you guys think of this suit?
Eh,
uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
same.
Not, it's not the traditional like Ironheart suit. It was kind of
No.
clunky.
It was very Hulkbuster.
yeah.
kind of-
I mean, only
in
that it had a
the-
dome head. It felt like it was out of like Paw Patrol.
The digital screen didn't work for me. I thought it looked cheesy.
I thought it was super cheesy. The
Yeah.
white eyes and just like kind of a soft like CGI top and
the
a little
comic
weird.
book version is sleeker and is more Iron Man.
Yeah, very Iron Man.
Like very much so. And I think it looks a lot better. So maybe in the show we'll get that.
yeah, I
Right.
guess like the
hopefully,
only relation to Iron Man was like MIT. Like it was like nothing else.
Right. When we
Yeah.
get Shuri say, "Are you working on Stark Tech?" That was
Yeah,
it.
That was it. Just
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Um.
We get the Midnight Sisters.
Oh, here we go. The Dora Milaje?
Yeah.
Is that them?
The two. We get the two suits, Okoye and Aneka.
Midnight Angels.
The Midnight. Was it? I don't know. I thought it was Midnight Sisters.
Wait, who are the Midnight Sisters?
The two in the,
In the blue
Okoye-
suits that Okoye hated.
The blue suits, like
The blue, the blue,
Like
almost
power
Iron Man.
orange.
Oh, the
suit.
ones that
armor.
she made for them.
Yes.
Yeah, this is where the Dora Milaje like get to like be pretty much like in like samurai Wakanda looking Iron Man suits.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They fly. They're super strong.
Right.
Really
There's
levels.
two of them.
It's just two of them.
Just two though.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. This is Io and
This
Okoye.
is Aneka and Okoye.
Aneka.
Yep.
Okay.
She gets a redemption against that big blue dude.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Dora.
exactly. And
That
she's like, but I'm not a Dora Milaje anymore. And she's like, I made you a new spear. She's like, oh.
All right. Well, I guess I'll do it.
She's like, I do miss my spear.
I
Great.
do
I
like
mean, great
stabbing.
fight scenes though here, right? I mean, just the water scenes, the Black Panther on the side of the ship, the sideways. I remember at one
visual-
point I was like my head was like turned sideways, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is really, really awesome.
Yeah, the visual of the Jabari tribe lowering the Dora Milaje off the side of the boat and the fighting on wires.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then you get the Black Panther Shuri jumping and flipping and dragging
Yeah,
her
just
claws
whooping
down
ass.
the side.
And she's
along
got
the
her
side.
she's
Yeah.
got her power hands from
Yeah,
the
her
first
little
movie,
power
but
shooters.
they're in the suit, just kind of built in. And then it's okay. I've got no more in my ship. It's just the
Yeah.
two of
The
us.
Ironheart lures him in,
Yep.
shoots him with some sort of blast.
Gotcha.
They get him in there.
Scoops him up.
Mike
Scoops him.
microwave his ass.
Yeah.
And then he's in there.
Yeah,
He's
the-
like he's sweaty. He's like, this
Yeah.
is where you're gonna end. And she's like,
You get the little
feeling a
bedroom
little
heaters on.
parched.
The little fish crisper. The McDonald's
Just start-
machine
just-
keeping the burgers
just-
warm.
just like a golden edge to him.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, it's
smells-
actually the same thing they use to make a fillet of fish at
That's
McDonald's.
right.
Yeah.
it's the same machine that finds the vibranium. And this is it. She dries him out, but he's starting to like destroy the
He's
ship.
he's like
getting like okay.
he's like, oh my god, this could really do some damage here, and just takes his raw vibranium spear and starts stabbing.
just taking out the ship.
Yeah,
Stabbing.
This makes the ship land.
stabbing with his raw vibranium spear
Just stab him.
all over the place.
And it crashes the ship like on a small little
oh yeah,
island.
just like breaks apart,
Breaks really crash. Like
Yeah.
I mean, this is like okay, I guess-
explodes.
yeah, just into pieces.
Yeah, smithereens.
And this is a hard back and forth. These two are going at it. It's up and down, punch, scratches. She's got her claws in him. He's hitting her with the spear, and then it's going head to head. She gets some good punches.
Swipes off the chicken foot,
Yep.
Oh,
the
yeah,
chicken
that was-
wing.
It hurt
so
me.
he can't
I was like, "Ooh."
fly. And I was like, oh man, if I had those, oh, I know that would
Ripped
hurt.
it right off. It's like
Yeah.
your Achilles tendon, but
Yeah.
just not like a wing. But he gets better hand for a second, puts that spear right through her. I mean, stabs her.
Yeah,
Isn't it
right,
because
right
she's
through
kinda showing
into
mercy?
the rock.
Didn't she? Have
I
the
think
upper
she was
hand?
kind of pulling her
she's kinda
punches.
pulling her
Pulling
punch there at
punches,
the
kind
end
of
and pausing, and he just skewers her. But it's like Star Wars rules. You can just take a saber
Her stomach's
spear to the
okay.
gut. You'll be fine.
Stomach's okay.
Killmonger couldn't take it,
Right.
but she can.
Yeah,
this
I
is
know.
Disney rules.
It's a
okay?
little.
Yeah, well, that was.
I mean,
Disney
maybe
too,
he
but-
was a little more up and towards the chest, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like more middle.
Yeah.
It was more middle. He was in the heart, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I got nothing there.
And then and then what gets her in the end is like a mix, but kind of like anger mixed with passion.
Yeah.
Where she's like, I'm gonna get myself off of this.
Yeah.
He's making his way to the water.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta get over there. SpongeBob in that episode. Like,
Yeah.
I need water. And she's like, this is it. I think she gets a little flashback city.
Yeah.
I feel like takes herself off, runs,
Claws
jumps,
come out,
claws come
snaps
out.
the thing, walks through, pulls it out the back.
Flip, run, jump, puts him down on the ground. I feel like she has a spear.
Something exploded and like burnt his back.
Oh yeah.
This
like
shit.
an
She's
engine
like,
straight
or
up goes
something?
Wakanda forever. Bam.
she goes,
Yeah.
oh,
and
it
it's like
hits
sets
the
off a-
detonator,
Sets it
Yeah.
off to explode.
Sets off a bomb
right
or
on his
something.
ass.
and it singes his ass on
Yeah.
on the backside.
Little sunburn.
But then it's like he's still not dead.
He
you
falls
know?
down. She's got a spear
to the neck,
to the neck, ready to do the job.
and this is the moment.
Yeah.
This is like the hero's moment. Same, think about like Peter Parker and Green Goblin.
Yeah.
The
The mercy moment.
yeah.
Do I?
Somebody speaks to her.
Yeah.
Her mom.
Her mom.
Yeah, she sees her. Like this is a moment, right? Where she's like, show her who you
Yes,
are.
that's what
Yeah.
it is. That's what it is.
Just like she told T'Challa.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I wish she just would have stabbed him in the neck. But she doesn't.
No.
And she says, we will end this now. We'll team up, and we're going to go tell everybody to stop fighting
Yeah.
in a story. And he goes, I yield.
I yield. Yeah.
Easy as that.
Yep.
Goes back. They're both up on a ship. Guys!
Hey, it's me, Kalkuku Khan. You know me. Hey, look, here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
We're just gonna call it all off. All right.
I made a mistake.
Yep.
I mean, Wakanda was down to about 15 people in that little huddle.
Oh,
though.
yeah,
they
they were-
had taken some
they were
serious
done.
losses.
For sure.
They were like backed into a corner. It was about to
Yeah.
end.
I mean, if he was a good leader, he'd be like, "Oh wait, I got this." Like,
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
we
We're
vastly
gonna win
outnumbered.
this
I
thing.
wasn't doing so hot on the beach, but man, they've been kicking ass
I
over
kick
here
this-
while I've
if
been
I
gone.
just kick this lady in the water, she's
Yeah.
probably done.
we just need to cut off their water mask. We'll
Yeah.
be fine.
He can't fly anymore though, so maybe he's.
You can still fly. He just
Yeah.
one-legged.
He's not as
I don't know.
zippy.
Just
He's still got 3 wings.
he's like really balancing.
You cross your
Uh-oh.
legs. You
Uh-oh.
go on one. You're fine.
The war is over for now.
Yeah.
But who's pissed about it? Namora.
Yeah. Like, why did we?
She tells him
Why
like-
did we bow to the surface people?
and he goes
idiot?
It's a long game essentially.
Yeah.
Yep.
Of we're on the same team now, which was what I was always trying to do
Yeah.
because he was.
Oh yeah. He's a manipulator.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's
For
like,
sure.
and guess what?
Yeah.
The world's not done chasing vibranium, to your point, Andy. Next time somebody goes after them, they will call on us.
Oh yeah. They're coming for Wakanda,
Oh, it's not over.
and
Like,
they
have an
don't
army.
have any allies
Yeah.
except for us
Yeah.
now.
And they have the Black Panther, the most powerful person in the most powerful place. So,
Yep.
it's a pretty good ally to have.
Not too bad.
Damn.
Okay. And then she talks to Shuri is the queen essentially of Wakanda, and she talks to M'Baku, and I don't think they really tell us what she's got to say, what they say to each other. And this is where you kind of have to I feel like there's a little insinuation to where she goes, I have to go do something first.
Yep.
Okay, so first before we get to that, because that's the end of the movie, you get the fight.
It's Challenge Day.
It's Challenge Day. Remember the
The
first movie?
Wakanda
Yep.
Falls.
Who da da da. I mean, I'm saying it wrong, but
Yeah.
it's just like they're chanting,
Yep.
and it's like, oh shit, like you're like, okay, the ship rolls in, it looks like
Yep.
Shuri's ship.
Here we go.
Here we go, and like
She's gonna take the herb
Or-
and fight someone,
or like take the herb that makes her lose the powers.
that makes her lose the powers
It's-
and
it-
fight someone with no powers.
Not gonna work.
But who's she gonna fight? And then instead,
It's
it's M'Baku.
and he's like, I'm here to
I'm
fight
here to challenge for the throne.
for the throne. To me, it felt like she was like, go do this,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like they're like on the same team, you
Right.
know?
I don't think she wants the throne.
Exactly.
I think that's,
she
I think
clearly
that's her
doesn't want the
clearly
throne.
abdicating the throne.
Oh,
It's like
because
that's
she,
I agree.
they were still calling her princess.
Yeah.
Even after Queen Ramonda died.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, I don't understand what the succession rules are
Exactly.
in Wakanda.
Exactly.
But apparently, maybe it's just an open throne.
Yeah, and it seems like that with the challenge rules that like anybody can step
Right.
up.
Like, hey, we'll have a new leader when someone wins a challenge.
Yeah, it's like you inherit it, but you'll have to fight for it.
Right. Which makes me wonder, when T'Challa died, did Queen Ramonda have to fight somebody?
Yeah, did she get in there and she's like, "Let's go, M'Baku."
Right.
I know. Carrie's like, she was like, Shuri's about to get her ass kicked. I was like, yeah, I think so. All right, so that's kind of like story for another day, right?
Yeah.
And it'll be like a time jump too. Like by then, who knows?
Yeah.
All right, so Shuri,
We get
I'm
to-
not missing it.
It's
a couple more
over.
things on Earth.
You're
on-
going the right way.
Or not on Earth, but back in the Wakanda, I guess. Riri left. And
Oh, right.
She gets her
Yeah,
car.
that's
she gets
right.
her car
She
back.
gets her car, and
Gets
she's
her
like,
car.
"I used to build it with my dad,
Shuri.
before."
Something.
Who's her dad? It's not
I
Iron
don't
Man.
know.
No.
My question is, who tricked her into making that machine?
Yeah.
That's-
Oh, you think there's like somebody puppet stringing?
Def.
Well, she's like, my professor said I couldn't do it, so I did it.
That seems pretty.
Yeah,
Shady.
something's up. Somebody
Yeah.
planted a seed. Probably
Could be.
Valentine.
Yeah. That exactly. I think that's what I was sort of getting at, but
Can't take
Who
her
knows?
armor with her
who knows?
when she leaves.
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, we're gonna keep the suit," and I was like,
Yeah, we can't let you have the suit.
I'm like, what is this?
That's okay. We don't need that
Because-
suit to come back.
Yeah,
Go make a
you're
better
going to
one.
have your own show,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we kind of need some character progression, so we're going to have to
Budget
watch
might
you.
not be as big for
rebuild
Ironheart,
this
so
suit.
we might need to tweak
Yeah.
this suit
Yeah.
a little bit.
We're just gonna have you fight in our war twice.
Yeah.
And Ross gets busted out by Okoye in her midnight angel outfit.
Wait, what happened?
Everett Ross
He's
was
in
in
the
Oh,
Ross
right.
was in the
Or
back
the
of the
tree.
van.
He's in the
He's
back of
down.
the. Yes, he's in the truck.
We got a tree. It's in the middle of the
Yeah,
road.
yep.
What do we do?
Yeah,
This isn't obvious.
yeah. And they take him out. So apparently
Yeah.
he's back with Wakanda. Like probably always with Wakanda. I mean, this guy is a straight up traitor too. But he's also.
Oh, yeah.
But he's also.
Traitor to the country.
But he's also like, you could tell that what I liked about that storyline was she is like a bad guy, and I feel like he was always alluding to
Is-
like something. You are a bad
is
guy.
Everett-
I'm nervous about you being in charge of these things, and now I went to jail, but like it's because he didn't want to play along with what she was up to.
Right.
You know.
Is Everett Ross related to the other Ross? Isn't that sergeant guy's name?
Thunderbolt Ross.
Thunderbolt Ross?
Yeah, I
Good
don't,
question.
I don't think so.
Good
Yeah.
question.
But I was really thinking about that. Like, did they really have to recast Thunderbolt Ross when you had an Agent Ross
just pull him up.
who could have just been pulled up?
No, now we have
No, we
Harrison
got
Ford.
Harrison
little
Ford.
Harrison
Yeah.
Ford in his young prime. That
Yeah.
won't be a problem.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah, we're not going to have to recast that.
Yeah. We'll see if we get
By
through
the time
Indiana
the
Jones
Thunderbolts
5.
gets here
Yeah.
in 2025.
Yeah, where was the Thunderbolt movie where it's about his legacy and retiring that character?
So, yeah, I think we're
We're at the.
we're at
This
the
is
end.
it. This is where.
This is boom.
well,
About to
we're all
roll credits.
we're
Cut the
avoiding
shit.
it because we're all looking at these tissues. Like, is this about to go down? All right. So what does Sherry do? She says, "I have to go do something first."
Yeah.
She goes to Haiti. She's like, "I'm gonna spend some time with
Nakia.
Nakia." And
She gets there.
I thought this was kind of funny. Nakia's like, "What's up? I'm so glad you're here." She's like, "I need to do something on my own."
Yeah.
And Nakia's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
and I was
it's-
like, "Wow,
We've
like
got
2
it.
days of travel.
It's all ready for you. She said.
It's all ready for you."
Everything's ready for
She
you.
goes, "I need to do it
I
by
need
myself."
to do it on my own.
And what is she gonna do?
She's gonna burn the funeral robes.
Well, she's gonna have some closure
Yeah.
about this. And she pulls out the clothes. I'm getting emotional now.
Yeah.
And this is the highlight reel.
Yeah.
You know,
We get the scenes.
man, it was hard.
Just, boom, boom.
Boom,
Yeah.
here he is.
We're
Here
seeing
he is.
him,
Here he is.
the smile, the greetings,
Her and
everything.
him.
Her and him. Yeah. All the
Like,
interactions.
Just and that spark they had
Mm-hmm.
was real. You know, like I mean, you can really feel it. And here it is. Front and center. She burns the clothes. She cries.
Yeah.
I'm crying. Carrie's crying.
Everybody's crying. Andy cried.
Sure did.
Second time,
Oh yeah, every
you
time.
guys
Yeah.
Every
Just-
time. Right
my
now,
shoulder was just wet.
soaking wet.
me and Scott were hugging.
Yeah.
Roll the credits.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, that was it. I felt
That's
the
never
What'd you
closure.
think? What'd you
That's never it.
and then it wasn't it. Like the scene kept going.
But,
That Rihanna song's playing, and I'm just like, damn it, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Every song.
Your
Just all the
beautiful
Rihanna
voice is just
songs.
making this whole thing even worse
Yeah.
for me right now. How could you do this?
Oh. I loved it beginning and end.
Yeah.
All right, so then we get one scene.
Yeah.
Just one. One mid-credit.
One
scene.
mid-credit
one.
scene. Continued.
Yeah.
Here she is. She's
Back on the beach.
Back
Right
on the
where we
beach,
left her.
Right where we left her. Nothing, same moment, same everything. And here comes
Nakia.
Nakia around the corner. She's got a little boy,
Yeah.
like a 7-year-old boy.
Yeah, 6, 7.
Cute as hell.
Yeah.
Oh God, his
Super
little
cute.
his little lisp.
Yeah.
Can't even recreate it. He's like,
Don't.
Can you keep a secret?
Oh.
Yeah. Dan's really gonna hate you if you start doing
Can you
kid
keep
voices.
a secret? Can you keep a secret?
My name is
keep
my
a
name is
secret.
Toussaint. Toussaint.
Yep. He's like,
And-
okay. She's like, nice to meet you. And he's like, yep.
Yep.
And he's
What's
like,
that? Yep.
He's like, my mom says you're really good at keeping secrets.
Thank you for providing laughter in this emotional scene. I do actually.
Oh, because it
appreciate
was. I mean, I know you could tell. Like it's like keep it together here.
Yeah.
And he's like, I am Prince
My name is really Prince T'Challa.
T'Challa. I'm the son of King T'Challa,
King T'Challa.
and I'll return home one day
Yeah.
to claim my place or something.
Something like that. And Nakia gives the story. Like, hey, T'Challa knew
This happened.
that I had we agreed
We
that
agreed.
I would leave.
Yep.
He's prepared us for
And-
this moment.
And he's gonna leave. He's gonna live away from all this.
Yeah. Until he's ready.
Until he's ready.
Yeah.
But like he's gonna know about it
Right.
too. And so this is.
Shuri asked, like, did my mom know?
Did my mom meet him?
Yeah.
And she said
she
yes.
said yes.
And she's like,
Yeah.
And we
see him.
see him
in the school at the beginning.
in
or
the
middle
school.
of the movie. I did not catch that.
he was there.
brought Queen Ramonda
Oh.
to Nakia.
Oh man.
In
He's
the
like, hey
school.
grandma.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
hey queen.
Now, I don't think she knew at that moment.
Maybe.
I think
But
she
I
did.
I think
think
she
they-
did. I think she did.
I think she did.
Really?
Because
Yeah.
she said
I
She
think
knew.
I think maybe after
I think she knew.
they might have
well
had
before.
that talk. You think so?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think the idea was like she
That's
knew.
why she approached him in the schoolyard, right? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking
Yeah, I don't
like
know.
I'm
I
thinking
thought it
like
was-
she
I thought
knew
it was
like longer
before.
than any of us realized. Like it was like
Yeah.
she always knew in my mind. Is kind of how
Yeah,
that was.
maybe.
And like she was probably helping like keep it a secret and stuff. And she knew right where to
Oh.
find her. You know.
she knew because she was about to tell Shuri at Namor's appearance in Wakanda.
Oh,
She's,
yeah.
I have
Oh.
something to tell you about your brother.
Right.
Yeah.
And until the end of the movie, I was like, what the hell was
That was
what
it.
the hell was it? And
That
then
was
the
it.
credit scene happened. So I was like, okay. So yeah, I think she knew long term.
All right, what'd you guys think of that? I mean, it was like, okay, this guy's got a kid. Story for another day. I don't know how Dan feels about it, but like, how do you guys?
Good use of a kid. That's
All right.
a good use of a kid.
You like that? You like that? Well, like,
That's approved.
because is this what this is? Right? It's a legacy thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's like never gonna die.
Oh.
Like we're gonna always like his name is T'Challa. It's not
Yeah.
like they gave him like a new name.
Right.
You know, it's like no, this is T'Challa. Live forever in the MCU. That's our biggest tribute we could do.
We don't need to recast
No,
Yeah.
because we've
New
got
gen.
a new gen.
new
Yep.
gen.
Yeah.
Like which
Young-
is like
a
which
young
fits,
Avenger.
which fits the formula anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
It's part of that too.
Right.
Because like I don't know like what the right thing to do is, but
Yeah.
man, I
I
think.
mean, there's a lot of ways they can age him up if they need to.
oh,
Yeah,
I
I
said
mean,
that. I said leave, and I
Working
go,
with
well,
kids
yeah, you'll move
in
him.
2 years. You know, he'll probably be 6'2", and on the Marvel
Or you'll never,
bodybuilding
or you'll
plan.
never see that actor again, and it'll be.
Yeah, it'll just
they'll
be somebody
recast
else.
Somebody that,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, if you watch Stranger Things season 1 and season 2, you know
Yeah.
the kids age very quickly
He's gonna be hanging
off
out.
screen.
Be hanging out with Scar.
Yeah.
Sakar. What's his name?
Yeah, it's
Scar.
Scar.
From Sakaar.
yeah,
from
God.
Scar.
Ugh.
Yeah.
God, more She-Hulk, like post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's not put a bad taste in your mouth. Was that Black Panther Wakanda Forever?
That was it.
That was great.
Roll credits.
Roll the credits. That's
All
no
the
more
credits.
no more scenes.
No, yeah, no end. post-credit scene. That's it. Because, I mean, I guess technically not the end of Phase 4, but the end of Phase 4.
Phase 4 is
Emotionally.
Emotionally,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Woo. Oh, man, the thoughts are running
Yeah.
through my head. I want to do roundtable thoughts. Did we miss any big parts you want to talk about is the first part is really. Like, is there anything that we didn't talk about in this story that you saw, characters that came up, storylines that paid off? But, you know, I think just keep that in your head as I start like a little bit of a roundtable here. Kicking us off with some thoughts on this film. Man alive. This thing was
2 hours and 40 minutes.
the thing I was going to say was I could feel I said it right whenever it all went down was, you know, right after we found out about his passing. My first thought was like, obviously all the tragedy and everything, but when it came to like real life moves forward, like there's going to be a team of people that are going to make this movie, and they're gonna have to figure out what to do here,
how to address it.
And man, you could really feel the tone of the movie of like, this guy died, and we're none of us are over it, and all of this stings, and nothing is quite perfect and in a bow, and there's just a little bit of sadness to like every part of what's going on, and I think that's the greatest testament to this film is that the people that worked on it, you can just feel their heart, their emotion, and we're going to do our absolute best here, and I think they did a beautiful job. I think this was a beautiful film. I think this is a film for fans, and also a film for fans that, even if you don't even know what happened, you go in and you're like, this is just a powerful movie that just looks and feels amazing, bringing back the original team to come back and do it again. Loved it so much. Let's change up the order a little bit. Dan, talk to us about Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, I think they picked a tone and they stuck to it. You know, Thor had way too many jokes and everything was funny, and there's been a lot of that recently in the Marvel movies, and I think they picked a more serious tone. They had a couple of one-liners and jokes that I frankly thought worked better because they were few and far between. They had a theme, they had an origin story that was phenomenal. The Ironheart thing didn't 100% work out for me because clearly that was a way to kind of get to the next thing. Same with Everett and LaFontaine. And, you know, honestly, if you took those pieces out, I think the cast is what made this movie happen in the emotional resonance that it had. Like when Angela Bassett walks out right after she like he has died, and you see it on her face. Like, I know she's an actress, but I'm like, at that moment, I was like, I think she's crying for Chadwick Boseman.
Sure.
Not
That's
for
what
this
she brought.
fictional
It was
character.
real.
Like,
That's what she
yeah,
brought.
like
Yeah.
their emotions felt real.
Yeah.
And I would assume in making this, when they're thinking about this, because they're not seeing the flashbacks, right? When they're filming it, they're thinking in their own head, the memories, they're closing their eyes, they're seeing his face, his smile. I mean, he had so much charisma. And the fact that they went that route, they did honor not only to him, but to everybody who was left in that movie to step up. And I think, like, you know, for me, outside of maybe Spider-Man, this was easily my second. I'd have to watch it and probably Spider-Man again, but this is easily my first or second favorite in Phase 4.
Oh, wow.
Like, easily over everything else we've seen.
Wow.
I just walked out of there and I'm like, this felt more like the earlier phases and a bit like just like a little more grounded in the tone, because so many of them have leaned into all this humor and jokes and one-liners that it just almost feels unrealistic, and this really had something it wanted to convey, and I thought it did a great job.
Nice. Fair share. Well said. Scotty Scoop, what's on your head? What's on your heart?
Beautiful movie. Just to take in how much culture they put into this movie. And I really liked that they took Namor from a very like bland Atlantis, and they injected this Mayan civilization culture on him that worked 100% in this movie. Like, I don't know that they could have put this in anywhere else, and it just would have looked weird
Yeah.
to not have that balance with the African culture, and then the Mayan culture, and then just how rich the movie was with the visuals and the acting. I really enjoyed Tena Huerta, his portrayal of Namor, very arrogant, manipulative,
Cool too.
very cool,
Like collected, like cold. You know,
I don't know that I would call him a villain.
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
And I don't
Anti-hero.
know. I don't know that I'd even call him an anti-hero.
Like
he was just the antagonist of the movie,
of this particular
story.
Yeah. And with his own thing going on.
Right. And I can't wait to see where they take his character. I think we're gonna see him again.
Yeah.
In the Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, he's calling it.
I'm calling it right now.
Okay.
In the comic books, he has a thing for Invisible Woman, Susan Storm.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
So I think we're gonna get an angle there. I hope we see him before that because that's like 2025.
I know that's what worries about me. Like this is where like these movies like worry me. Is like this is Black Panther. It's like, are we not gonna see something like this till Black Panther 3?
After the, what's the next Avenger?
I think
Kang.
The next Avengers is
I think
Secret Wars,
Okay.
and then King Dynasty.
Fantastic Four kicks off Phase 6. I think.
Okay.
Let's see, and I think Thunderbolts closes Phase 5.
The phases are like by year, right?
Yeah,
So-
I mean it's fluid because it's Marvel.
but I feel like the phases usually go like Phase 4 ends now, 23 kicks off Phase 5. Is
Right.
that how they do it though?
No,
it's
not
it's
really.
more than
Not
a year
necessarily,
sometime.
right?
Because think
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it, we're in Phase 4, but MCU is way more than four years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's usually.
Oh, that's a
two
good
or
point.
three.
Yeah, fair.
Depends on. I mean, things are changing now with the shows and the
Yeah.
movies all going. It's like they're
Yeah.
packing so much in.
I don't think I needed Riri Williams.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, she kind of went from janky Iron Man suit to full Iron Man suit very quickly.
Yeah, almost like you know how Iron Man suits like evolved from Iron Man 1, you know, and then 12 films later.
Right.
It was almost like she made that jump in 30 minutes.
Right.
It was like, oh wow, you've got like almost it's not a nanotech
Right.
suit. but
I
it
mean, we
looks like
came
it.
into her and she was already kind of like a badass,
Yeah.
but I don't know that she was full Iron Man battle in the ocean badass.
Yeah.
And then just personally for me, not a fan of Letitia Wright. I don't think she is lead acting material.
Wow.
I mean, I think they were kind of stuck making her the lead of this movie.
yeah, we're getting into it now.
I
This is the stuff you want to talk about for sure.
I don't think she's a strong enough actress
Yeah.
to carry a franchise.
Wow.
Personally, I wanted Lupita Nyong'o, a Oscar-winning actress,
Yes.
to be Black Panther.
Wow.
Or
yeah. I mean, I didn't know. Man, that's a really interesting point. I hear you.
you know, there was just I think the cast carried this movie,
Yeah.
and I didn't ever get the feeling
Well,
that Shuri was
Yes.
a lead.
Totally.
She-
All the way until the end for me, I was like, is she going to put on this? Like, I was
Right.
I was pushing that all
I
the way.
mean, I knew going in she was the next Black Panther.
just because of the like
just
trailer
because
and
the
stuff.
trailer,
yeah.
you know, you could tell from her face paint from the morning to the Black Panther helmet with the paint on
and it's
it.
been out for a week and they're already posting like her
Right,
pictures
yeah.
like ready to go. You
like,
know?
you know, and that's just my personal feeling. Other than that, I mean, I don't think she was bad.
No, hey, you're not gonna hurt any feelings on this show.
You know,
like
She
I hear you.
she got really hurt making
She
this movie.
did.
She
She
was in a
got
motorcycle
injured,
accident.
and they also delayed the movie because of vaccination reasons. You know, and it's I don't have anything. Do whatever you got to do
Yeah.
in your personal life, but just personally as an actress, I don't think she's lead material.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they. I think she'll be in the next one, but I would.
I don't know if we're gonna get another Black Panther
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
lead.
I agree. Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah.
oh,
With
what
her.
Do you, what do you?
Short.
I think this
what,
might.
Yeah. What are they gonna do?
Just
What
I
do you-
like a
think there might
placeholder?
be another ensemble movie.
yeah.
You know, like
I think she might get switched
an
out for this
Avengers,
kid.
and then we get this kid, and then maybe the next Black Panther movie will be a mantle pass again
Mm.
to a younger Black Panther. I mean, other than that, I mean, this still is probably going to be in my top 2
Yeah.
movies. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm kind of back and forth with this and Shang-Chi as my phase 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, we
I
must have
thought-
watched a different movie.
I thought Shang-Chi was
I love Shang-Chi.
fantastic.
You don't like it?
No.
I mean,
That's
it's
three. That's
I
three
loved
for
it,
me,
yeah.
I've got a
but-
special place in my heart for Jackie Chan,
Yeah.
and this really gave me like Jackie Chan vibes.
Okay.
And you know,
I love we love Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the favorites. All right, Giggler, Wakanda Forever. Tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah. So Chadwick, I mean, he reeled. I feel like he, me personally, reeled me in with just his. At first, Black Panther, I didn't know anything about it going in. All of a sudden, he's in Civil War. Black Panther movie comes out shortly after that. I mean, I was captivated by his suit at first. One of the best looking suits that we've had. to
Just
date.
taking bullets from
But
the
then-
helicopter.
Definitely.
Right, and that chase scene with the Winter Soldier,
Just
I mean,
running.
unreal.
Oh, man, yeah,
so
that was great.
so cool. Like what a debut! Immediately went from like I have no idea who this character is.
Takes
to,
off his
like,
helmet and just has
one
that
of-
look like
right, and then just like, I mean, just like Scott said earlier, like his smile, just his demeanor and his charisma, like it's really tough to beat. And the fact that they pulled this off as a like beautiful tribute to him. I mean, just Shuri's like hero's journey throughout the movie is just honest. I can't think of like a better tribute than that in itself. Like it was just absolutely perfect. After the movie, both times I was just like, I have no idea how they just did that.
yeah. I like how you put that too. Like they pulled it off because again, like I don't know. It's like I don't like to play the game too much of like they had a tough job ahead of them
Yeah.
because you're kind of putting a chip on their shoulder and making them an underdog from the get go. But the truth is, they would probably agree that like we were the underdog. We are. It's it's like if you're making the Iron Man movies and Robert Downey Jr. dies during the filming of the second movie.
Right.
Like you're like, oh shit, like back to the drawing board, like for real. And then with a
Yeah.
character like this,
It's even more.
there was even more weight to it of like there's more to this
Yeah.
lead than an
The-
Iron Man type character. We got plenty of those.
this
this is
means
different.
more to a set of people,
Yeah.
you know, where they can look at this movie and see themselves represented, and to just have that wiped out. I mean, you could do a real world what if. You know, what if they
Yeah.
had just recasted him? 'Cause
Yeah.
there are people who said, just recast him. And there were other people that said, don't even make the movie.
Yeah.
And then there were people like, figure it out.
Yeah. What do we like? What do we think? Like I'm thinking,
I'm happy they did this.
Yeah, I'm completely
very
100% happy with this product that
Yeah.
they gave us.
Yeah, me too. And I am too for sure because like we're not the ones in the room making this thing, but like it's like man,
Call
if
us.
it were me, it's like yeah, totally. Like it's like I get the route, I totally do, and I mean I don't know what else you do. Like I don't even know like how if you recasted him, it's not.
It's going to be a comparison forever.
Forever.
Yeah, the only thing I thought they could do is somehow bring Michael B. Jordan back.
I
Give
thought about
him
that.
a
That was
redemption.
one
I'm
of my
sure
things.
that was
I
something
I
they
thought
in
like
the
a-
writing room
They floated
thought
that
about.
for
Yeah.
sure.
like a multiverse version or something. I thought
right,
would be
because
I
if
just
you
cool.
thought-
watch What If, there's another Killmonger. We know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like pop in, like they put a Black
Yeah.
Widow in another world. Like
Right.
they kind of show that like we can do this when we want to, but do you do the Disney CGI and like bring him back?
And they talked about that too, I'm sure.
Can you imagine like the options that were on the table?
Even just like at the beginning to just, hey, we need something people can see
All it was
To-
a mural.
to close it out.
They showed a mural
But
of
yeah,
his
they
face.
did the mural, and
when
that's
they're like,
it.
that was it. It was a
Yeah.
mural of his face, and it was like they're not even going to show a body. They're not showing anything.
Nothing.
That was better because
I
they
agree.
did it in Star
Yeah.
Wars. They took old footage and put her in Episode 9 and
Yeah.
like killed her off in the movie and had body doubles, and it was awkward and
Right.
it looked like shit.
Yeah.
And I thought this was handled perfectly.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you just think about Mark Hamill and his Jedi outfit at
Yeah.
70,
They-
with this
They
little
did
baby
what,
Grogu.
I mean,
Grand Moff Tarkin.
we didn't see
Oh yeah.
like
yeah.
you don't need to see somebody die to know they died. Like again, that look on Angela Bassett's face when she comes out, I think is all you needed.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
didn't
both-
actually
both of
get
them,
to
both-
see
yeah.
him.
Her.
I mean, all you would have seen is like a body, and then it'd been like a flat line. You'd have heard the flat line,
Yeah.
right? So,
All right.
We were probably 3/4 of the way through the movie, and my youngest daughter, Nora, she's 9, and we were most of the way through the movie, and she turned to me and she goes, "Where's Black Panther?"
Oh man.
And like,
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Young kids.
I had to do an
What'd you
aside.
do?
I just had to do an aside and whisper in her ear and said, the actor that played this character died. He passed away in real life, and they're making the movie.
Yep.
To show everyone else how to deal with that kind of grief.
Yeah. Yes, we're dealing with it now.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
right.
this. Look at this movie. This movie's about dealing with it.
Right.
Yeah.
This movie is all of us dealing with it.
Yeah.
Having somewhere to put it
Right.
is really nice. Because there's also like this version of the MCU where like they don't address it.
Oh yeah.
Where like you recast
Yeah, I
them
mean,
and
like-
like you don't even talk about
Right.
like how would
Oh,
that work?
they do the thing at the beginning or the end that says in memory of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, right.
But you have, somebody else up
Yeah.
there in the suit. And, the actors don't get to draw on that to put forth this kind of work that they did.
All I was thinking too was man, Wakanda has been through it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, lost the king, then their other king.
Yep.
Yeah, overthrown.
Shuri
Yeah.
was they're
Overthrown by
Overthrown.
yeah,
by
False
a
king. He
false
dies.
king.
false king,
dies.
They got a queen.
They're-
She's all pissed
Yeah.
off.
queen, dead,
Dead. They're
princess.
like, here comes our
kidnapped.
next queen.
That was one thing that I didn't like about the film was that I was like, man, well, this is Wakanda though. Like you guys are okay, but like it didn't seem like they were that okay. They just
No.
like kept getting like people are sneaking in, and the Dora Milaje are tough,
Yeah.
but they're not like quite tough anymore. And I'm like,
city's
where's this?
flooded.
I'm like, where's this army?
mean-
and like, where's like the people that were running this place? And like,
Well, they all-
it's always like so dependent on like the king
Mhm.
and like the siblings. And I'm
That's-
like, well, who are the advisors? And where's Lawrence Fishburne? Or not Lawrence Fishburne, the guy that was in the movie the first time around. Did he get killed in the
Yeah,
first?
he was killed.
He was killed by
Yeah.
Killmonger.
Killmonger killed him.
Oh
on
damn.
the
Okay. Well,
challenge
people like that though. The
thing.
wise elders,
Well, you also have to remember Wakanda's been like the battleground in a lot of these movies, right? So you have like the first Black Panther, then you have what's the first
Infinity
Avenger?
War.
Infinity War. Like, I mean, the reality is like you have the whole like warrior tribe there, and they got massacred.
Yeah.
So like that is
Yeah.
a crippled nation. Like not only has their
Mm.
leadership continuously
Good call.
died,
Good call.
but they were the ones in the front line. They were there again in Endgame, right? You saw more Wakandans. And it's like, as a representative of like saving the world, this country has given a lot more
We've
than
given a
anybody.
lot.
The U.S., the Navy SEALs weren't there.
And what are they
Right.
about to
At
get?
the
What are they about to get for
Endgame.
it? Just everybody wants all their shit still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that was kind of like the Queen's whole point was like it's not like has she given enough? Obviously, haven't we given enough?
Mhm.
And like people still asking,
Yeah.
and I did love like the real world side of like no one gives a flying f that this has happened to you. Where's your stuff? We're with this. Life goes on, and I mean it's like not a good feeling, but it's like that's the real world.
That's the
Sure.
real world. Yeah.
Like you might something happens, you go to a funeral, and then you got work tomorrow.
Yep.
And it's like back to work.
Got to move on.
Yeah. All right, let's do roundtable ratings. Giggler, you're up first.
3.6.
Scotty Scoop,
3.7.
Dan P,
3.8.
Oh. Price is Right, Logan.
3.7, 3.7. High scores. I mean,
$1, Bob.
I don't know. If we all said higher, would I say higher? Probably. We all said lower. Would I say maybe? I don't know. But I'm telling you that I'm jealous. You guys have seen it twice. I'll put it that way. This is one that I want to watch again. I
Yeah,
want to see
it
it.
was
I want
great.
to see it more.
Mine went up from a 3.3 to a 3.6 after the second viewing. So
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I was there.
Well, and that's
That helps.
classic. That's classic MCU, too. Like, it's
Yeah.
just like it stands on its own 2 feet. Parts of me wanted in credit scenes of like,
right.
Kang
Oh, yeah.
rolling in.
You want,
or
yeah, you want
like
something.
an Ant-Man and the Wasp, like, or a Quantumania like tease or something. But I knew in my heart of hearts that's not going to happen. This is going to be a
They
book.
showed the
has to
trailer for
be-
Ant-Man before the movie.
They
You're
did.
Good. You got it.
Oh God, man, that's going to be. I think that's going to be.
They also showed the Avatar trailer, which I think for maybe some people who not really familiar with everything may have confused them a bit.
Yeah.
Great
Seeing
point.
blue people in the water in the trailer and then blue people in the water in the movie.
They're like, this must be Black Panther Way
Why, yeah.
of Water.
Yeah, they're making another one already.
Wow, we already got the preview for the next one. That's at Christmas. But
heavy movie.
Yeah.
heavy, but they did it beginning and end kind of, and they gave the movie a chance to be the movie on its own two
Yeah.
feet too.
Yeah. Perfect bookends. This was my first thoughts too. Like the first 10 and last 10 minutes were just like they felt the same to me,
Yeah.
but in a good way.
I mean, my heart was hurting. Oof. They did it. They got it done.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, that's what we thought of the movie. We want to hear what you think. We always do, and this is where we feature that part. So we got a fan voicemail from one of our regular callers, one of the friends of Scotty Scoop, now
That's right.
longtime friend of Mostly Superheroes, Mr. Cecil here, giving his thoughts on Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Let's hear from him right now.
Hey, this is Cecil. I'm a therapist, and what I noticed with the rewrite of the film and how they handled Chadwick Boseman's death was to examine how each character handled going through the grief process. We got a lot of people think it's just 5, but there's actually 7. There's shock, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, testing, and acceptance. And it was interesting that right before he died, she was looking into trying to fix him. She was like, I'm going to use technology. This is what I know. Something that a lot of people really, apparently I didn't see a lot of people catch this. Her brother was the one who taught her everything about technology. Like, he's incredibly smart too, but the movies don't really do a lot of that. There was a small mention of it. I've seen the movie 3 times. There's a small mention of it in the movie in Wakanda Forever, but they don't really talk a lot about how T'Challa was the one who taught her all of this. So she used what her brother gave her to try to save him. The writing was excellent because it just really kind of crafted her shock when he first died and the denial and particularly the anger. Also, this movie allowed me, just kind of as a viewer, to really get a better understanding of what the ancestral plane was. You have to deal with your most present trauma first before you can see your ancestors. And I didn't realize that before. In the last movie, it was T'Challa dealing with, the ideologies of his father. With Killmonger, is dealing with the death of his dad. And with Shuri, dealing with her vengeance, dealing with her anger, dealing with her grief, before she could even see her mother. So that gave me a better understanding. I really like that. Riri Williams, a lot of people are saying things like it was unnecessary. I wasn't even really that interested in Ironheart until I saw her on this. Now I really want to know, so much more about it. So, job well done. It's time for Angela Bassett to get her Oscar. It's time. It's past time. She should have gotten it years ago. She should have gotten it for What's Love Got to Do with It, but it's time for her to get her Oscar. I have a whole lot to say about this movie, but I'm not going to say too much more. I appreciate you all giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts, and hopefully y'all will go see the movie a 3rd and 4th and 5th time, because I probably will. All right, thanks.
Cecil.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
Yep. Therapist Cecil breaking it down.
Yeah, I saw that voicemail trickle in today as I'm packaging the episode, and always good to hear from Cecil. Man,
Yeah.
what a take.
Yeah.
Man, like you can really get a therapist take too.
Yeah, when he first said that, I was like, oh, well, he's giving his job. And then when he went into it, I'm like, oh, well, now that makes it, yes, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And, and I loved his analysis.
We do love our callers just to rattle off, what they do for a living.
Yes.
I'm Cecil.
No,
I'm a
it made
firefighter. Anyway, so the movie's really no.
I really loved when the things were on fire.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
he
when
very
when
quickly
the
gave
fires got
context.
put out,
No, really good
It
to
was
have that
awesome.
take because I mean now it's like when I go back and watch again, it's like man, you probably will see those patterns of like this
Yeah.
is how they're dealing with it. Now it's this, and oh, you're skipping a step, so you see like how that can
Yeah.
go against you. Cecil, thanks so much, man. Always
Yeah.
good to
Yeah.
hear from you. You want to say anything special to your boy?
yeah, love you, Cecil.
Look at
See
that.
you in January.
What's going on? You guys
Heck yeah.
meeting up?
It's wedding.
Oh, right.
He's coming up.
I forgot you're getting married. I'll be there. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, Cecil. I'll see you. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that. Might have to plan another maybe we'll get him in person.
Hey.
Do like a wedding
There
episode.
we go.
Holy shit.
That'd be cool.
How about that? All right. Moving right along.
Will that be after the bachelor party episode the week or the month before?
Well, we've already done one
we
bachelor
did one
party,
bachelor
but
party.
we're trying to plan
We're gonna
another
get a
one.
sequel.
Yeah, because
For sure.
Shanna, your fiance, got to do
She got like 3 days.
a 3-day.
Like a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. And I'm like, I
We
only got 1 day.
did one day, and the argument has been like Shanna's, saying like, well, Friday was a Friday night, Saturday was
Right.
only an afternoon, maybe one more day.
Yeah.
All right, we got some fun facts from the show too as well. Just again, IMDb Pro helping us out. Winston Duke actually campaigned for his character M'Baku to be the sequel's main villain.
Oh.
Well, you already tried that in the first one.
An interesting take.
All right, Marvel stated due to Chadwick Boseman's untimely death in August of 2020, all plans for Black Panther 2 have been left in the uncertain state. For a time, Marvel was not sure whether they were going to recast another actor to portray Black Panther in the MCU. We know that after Chadwick Boseman's untimely death, some fans have advocated for the next Black Panther film to follow the comics and to have Shuri. So these are obviously before the movie came out, right?
Right.
These were like kind of guesses. So they kind of guessed that right on track. We talked about this. This is the 30th film in the MCU as well. And Ryan Coogler. So there is a special that debuted probably like on ABC or NBC. It's on Disney Plus now. It's called Finding Wakanda. And Ryan Coogler went on there and spoke and kind of spoke to this and stated that making this film without Chadwick Boseman is the hardest thing he's ever done. And in that special on Disney Plus, he dives a lot deeper into it and gets emotional, and it will be emotional, but
Thank
a lot more behind the scenes stuff that you can go check out on Disney Plus about this. And I'm sure there'll be like a making of at some point as well.
Yeah, I would love for them. I don't know if it's a what if, but I would love to know what that original script was. I feel like a what if is too close, like to him, because he voiced
He was
that
in it.
character. But maybe a comic. I feel like you could do justice of like this is a comic of what Black Panther 2 would have been with him, because then there's no voice. There's like you can use his likeness, but and do tribute. But I would be very curious to know what that was originally, and that might be a way you could do it that's still respectful and like just kind of a one-off, like hey, here's like a one-off
Like a
story.
Marvel special presentation.
Yeah, like a special print alternate universe kind of dealio.
Or like it's like the left on the table what
Yeah.
if episodes. Maybe they'll do like a special release or something
Yeah.
one day. That's not because they do the what if like storylines, right?
Yeah,
So it's almost
got
like
a
you need to like have like
through line and
it's almost like
and
what
there's a
Star Wars
voice.
is doing.
Yeah.
Star Wars does these like solo things now. It's like just do a one what if.
Mhm.
Because I'm with you. I go down that road too, just because like you've got us intrigued in the multiverse now.
Yeah.
Now I want to see like, well,
Yeah.
what did you have in mind?
Maybe get like a novelization or something of,
Yeah.
of the script.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I'd be in.
Fellas, nice job. Thank for 4 white dudes in the middle of Missouri. We didn't do too bad. And reading some of the names was tough. I think Scotty is really good at it.
Yeah, he's really
I
good.
don't-
At, he's gonna remember like the tribes. Like he was just on fire with all these because this was an ensemble cast.
Yes,
right. So
it
you
is
had a
an
lot
ensemble.
of characters, and it's
He
not
doesn't
like
even look at the
Avengers
screen. He's just
ensemble.
looking at me in the eye, like saying them
Yeah.
so clearly. I'm like, wow.
They call him Kalkukuka.
Yeah.
Kukulkan. Do you know that? M'Baku, that was so great.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get into what's coming up. Oh, man. Okay. Whew. Get yourselves together. Have to see it and go cry again.
Oh, yeah. You know you're gonna.
Yeah.
Coming up in Christmas time, I mean, I guess we'll do a whole episode about it. I mean, we're definitely going to talk about it, but James Cameron's Avatar is back in theaters this Christmas. I think we're going to do it for our holiday special. So how about that?
Yeah, and we'll have the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special to
Yeah.
go over as well.
That'll be in the What You Watching. I'll probably watch at least 10 more cheesy Christmas movies by then. I'll bring those in.
Everybody come with your
get Carrie's top 10 ready.
Cheesy Christmas movies. Yeah, we got to have
Did your ladies watch cheesy stuff? Or do you guys watch cheesy stuff?
Shannon mostly watches murder.
Steph, yeah, same for Steph.
A lot of
She's already
true crime.
Yeah, I get a free pass on all that stuff. Luckily, that's not Steph's favorite.
Well, I know it's kind of quick to watch another movie with blue people in water, but we'll just do it again.
Yeah,
I'm totally in.
Hell yeah.
Can't wait. Go ahead. Andy.
Another Christmas special coming up, Murderville.
Oh yeah, you told me that
Featuring-
Murderville with Will Arnett.
What?
They're doing a holiday special.
Yes.
Is this one episode or is this
Jason
like...
Bateman is I think it's one episode.
Oh man.
And Sean Hayes is going to be in it as well.
Oh great.
Oh perfect.
That show's so
It
good.
is
Laugh
gonna
out
be
loud funny.
Smartless Jr. with a Christmas Terry Seattle twist. I cannot.
Terry
wait.
Seattle.
I freaking love that show. I want I need more. I was like, I hope it's more than one episode, but I think it's only one.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch that again.
Maya Rudolph's in it too. I think that's
Nice.
the
You also have we didn't talk about they also have a Christmas story.
Oh yeah,
the
Has
sequel.
anybody watch that
Oh,
yet?
yeah.
No, but
out.
it's out.
Yeah.
I think it's on. Do you remember?
HBO Max.
HBO Max.
Oh.
So like they got what's his name back that played Ralphie,
Ralphie, yeah.
and this is the big sequel. So you know,
Right.
get it on your holiday schedule. We'll have even more for you when we come back. Avatar coming up. We got our best of episode happening, and then we're in the next year.
God, so close.
wow, dude.
Over.
Yeah.
It's over, just like that.
Over.
Where did it go?
I know. And plenty more, lots more episodes. We got them up on the screen now. We're going to be doing a lot in 2023, and we can't wait to do it with you. Plenty of ways to support the show, just like Danny Patron. You can go support us on Patreon. You can do it at mostlysuperheroes.com/support. Pay a little bit of money even just through the website. You can just send us cash. You can buy merch and wear the show. Got the new holiday designs with our promo code mostly on Bonfire. Go to mostlysuperheroes.com/merch. Buy that merch. Get the discount. Support the show, and we appreciate you. Let's do a round table right now and say goodbye. Giggler.
Wow. I hope everybody has an awesome Thanksgiving. Eats all the good foods. See all your family. All that good stuff. And we'll see you in another month.
Yeah, another month or a few weeks.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready to chat with you guys again.
Yeah.
Then by then, I think.
Scotty Scoop.
Man, I'm super excited. I'm gonna wake up on Friday morning. I'm gonna have my leftover turkey sandwich with the moist maker. And I'm gonna turn on Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, snuggle up on the couch in the theater, and man, it's gonna be great.
You're going to have us all over?
Hey, you guys want to come over for some sandwiches?
I'll probably be in my own bed at that point.
I have to
mashed
work.
potatoes.
I have to work on Black Friday, unfortunately.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Danny Patron in from Texas. Dude, thank you.
Aw.
Absolutely.
What do you got? What do you want to say to people as you say goodbye today, this time around? Because I'm sure we're going to have you back plenty of times.
Yeah. Join the club. Best content's in the Patreon part. You're missing out. You hear all the interesting stories of what's going on in lives. There's even some follow-up to some pre-Patreon conversations this week. But
Yes.
You're not going to know. You're not going to know unless you're subscribed. Honored to be back. Been looking forward to it, since kind of reached out and said, hey, I'll be in town if it lines up. And you're like, yes, it will. I'm like, thank God. Buying a mic, just saying. So you still have the seat. We do the digital thing. Black Friday's coming up, and I've been watching those too. So
good.
Always a pleasure to hang out with you guys. Thanks to the listeners. Get those sweaters for your upcoming Christmas parties. And thank you all for doing this with us. Bit of a emotional episode, I think, for all of us, and so a little bit change in tone. But thanks everybody, and hope to be back soon.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, listener. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you to your ladies for lending me out. And, we'll all get back out in here soon. We do it for you guys. We do it for us. We're all having fun, and it's about living that cool life and doing the best you can. So we'll see you next time. Join us next time on Mostly Superheroes. Take it easy.